Well, the All-Star teams were just announced, and that man right there, David Wright, will be making his 7th All-Star Game appearance, this time at his home field. He'll be joined on the mound by Matt Harvey, making his first All-Star Game appearance. And for the Brewers, they've got a couple of first-timers as well. Shortstop Jean Segura and center fielder Carlos Gomez. It's the Mets and the Brewers squaring off here on a beautiful night in Milwaukee on Baseball Night in America. We're all set for baseball here in Milwaukee on this holiday weekend. Happy July 4th weekend. And hello, everybody. Justin Kutcher alongside Jose Mota. And Jose, as far as these Mets are concerned, people have talked about Harvey, they talked about Wheeler, but right now, all people want to talk about is the return of Ike Davis.
Justin, the reason is he is a very popular player with his teammates also in New York, because this guy, let's be honest, he's got some serious power. 32 home runs last year, including 20 in the second half of the season. Now, he went down to AAA, 7 home runs in 21 games, and it seems like mechanically, from what I saw last night, he's back where he needs to belong.
Okay, you talk about mechanics. Yovani Gallardo struggled his last couple of starts, but the big story around him, a lifelong Brewer, there are a lot of trade rumors floating around.
Yeah, there's going to be a lot of eyes on Yovani Gallardo here tonight. A lot of scouts following his outing because the stuff to me has regressed a little bit, but Justin, it's also easily attainable to arrange him back in the right direction because mechanically he is not right. I do believe he can go out there and help a contender right now.
All right, that's the story of Yovani Gallardo. As far as the story in this game, well, we've got a guy who is now a veteran, David Wright. Can you believe that? David Wright is now that savvy vet for the New York Mets. He is Mr. Met. And for the Brewers, they've got this young kid who is slowly becoming the face of this franchise, Jean Segura. It's the Mets and the Brewers. It's coming up next on Baseball Night in America. squaring off here on a beautiful night in Milwaukee on Baseball Night in America. We're all set for baseball here in Milwaukee on this holiday weekend. Happy July 4th weekend. And hello with everybody. Justin Kutcher alongside Jose Mota. And Jose, as far as these Mets are concerned, people have talked about Harvey, they talked about Wheeler, but right now, all people want to talk about is the return of Ike Davis.
Justin, the reason is he is a very popular player with his teammates also in New York because this guy, let's be honest, he's got some serious power. 32 home runs last year, including 20 in the second half of the season. Now, he went down to AAA, 7 home runs in 21 games, and it seems like mechanically, from what I saw last night, he's back where he needs to belong.
Okay, you talk about mechanics. Giovanni Gallardo struggled his last couple of starts, but the big story around him, a lifelong Brewer, there are a lot of trade rumors floating around.
Yeah, there's going to be a lot of eyes on Giovanni Gallardo here tonight. A lot of scouts following his outing because the stuff to me has regressed a little bit, but Justin, it's also easily attainable to arrange him back in the right direction because mechanically he is not right. I do believe he can go out there and help a contender right now.
All right, that's a story of Giovanni Gallardo. As far as a story in this game, well, we've got a guy who is now a veteran, David Wright. Can you believe that? David Wright is now that savvy vet for the New York Mets. He is Mr. Met. And for the Brewers, they've got this young kid who is slowly becoming the face of this franchise, Gene Segura. It's the Mets and the Brewers. It's coming up next on Baseball Night in America. Night, 86 degrees. The forecast with a retractable roof. Hey, beers, brats, and baseball. That's what we got for you. Tonight's starting lineup for the New York Mets brought to you by Taco Bell. Sometimes you gotta live boss. Eric Young will lead things off and play left. Daniel Murphy at second, bat second. The third baseman, David Wright, will bat third. Ike Davis will back clean up and play first. Marlon Byrd and Wright will bat fifth. Kirk Neuenhuis in center field bat sixth. John Buck will catch and bat seventh. Omar Quintanilla will play shortstop and bat eighth. And the pitcher, Sean Markham, will bat ninth. The opening pitch is brought to you by Budweiser. From May to July, buying Budweiser benefits military families. The lineup of the Mets will face the right-hander Yovani Gallardo, 6-8 on the season, a 4.78 ERA. Jose, he struggled his last couple of outings. What will it take for him to get back on track?
I think he has to go out there and pretty much throw through that glove. He has been losing his sense of direction, but mainly you start off with the right-handed batters, and he has had trouble putting them away. Execute against that middle, that lineup, Justin, and then that straight line approach, that direction of saying not to the glove, but through the glove to throw in a straight line.
Well, Eric Young Jr. will lead things off. The switch hitter will bat lefty against the right-hander Gallardo. Last night the Mets won 12-5. Young on the season, 263, a home run and 16 RBIs. Aramis Ramirez in on the grass at third base. Juan Francisco in the cutout at first. And the first pitch fastball misses outside for ball one. The 1-0 from Gallardo. That's on the outside corner for a strike. 1 ball and 1 strike. The umpires for tonight's game: behind home plate, James Hoy; at first base, Bob Davidson; second base, Jim Reynolds; and John Hirschbeck, the crew chief, is at third. 1-1. Outside corner again. He stayed outside for the first 3 pitches. It's 1 ball and 2 strikes.
I like what I'm seeing right now with that front shoulder pointing straight right through Jonathan Lucroy's glove at this point.
The corner's back up with 2 strikes here against the speedy Young. Fouled back. We'll do it again.
For EY Jr., what a fine job he's done for the Mets, Justin, and so far hitting over 300 for Terry Collins in his ball club. And you know, Terry Collins has always liked players that can go out there and help in different positions, different slots. And on base percentage, 367 with the Mets uniform from EY Jr.
Another 1-2 from Gallardo. High and outside with the fastball. 2 balls and 2 strikes.
Look at Gallardo. These are the things we're going to look at in his delivery. Now, front shoulder, where is it going? That's a key there. You can see he's also working on the third base side of the rubber. I like that direction right there. That could be a good one.
2-2, fouled back again. Yovani Gallardo, his last start was against the Nationals. 3 innings, 9 hits, 8 runs, 2 walks, and 2 strikeouts. Trying to bounce back here with a lot of eyes on him. The 7th pitch of the at-bat here to Eric Young Jr. Breaking ball called, strike 3. First breaking ball of the at-bat.
Look at the target. Absolutely ran it back rack over the plate. The key is to keep it that simple in those first few pitches of the game. Comparing to his last start, watch here where that front shoulder is going. It's going towards the first base dugout. That changes his hip, how he lands. That changes his front shoulder dipping down and away, and also the head in the direction. That's not where he has to throw the baseball. When he misses, this is what happens.
And the first pitch to Daniel Murphy is taken for a ball outside.
Just a little difference and a little extra movement, 2 or 3 inches away. That home run by Bryce Harper might be a pop up to left field.
Absolutely. The 1-0 up high, 2 balls and no strikes. He was saying to us that, you know, you're trying to throw inside to that lefty, and that front shoulder opens up, and next thing you know, that inside pitch now is right over the middle.
It is, and we'll get into. There's reasons why this happened. I mean, he's not alone in going through this at this point, but we'll get into why these things happen for a pitcher like Gallardo, a seasoned veteran.
2-0 on the outside corner, 2 balls and 1 strike to Daniel Murphy.
The main reason is you're trying to overgenerate speed, of course, a sharper breaking ball, and then you lose track of the things that really have gotten you to be the guy that you are, a very consistent pitcher the last 4 or 5 years.
The 2-1 from Gallardo. High and outside with the fastball. Now it's 3 balls and 1 strike.
You know, Justin, it actually compares to hitting, where you see guys opening up, trying to hit home runs,
right,
and slowing everything down and dragging the bat. Very similar.
The 3-1 fouled away. 3 balls and 2 strikes. The defense behind Gallardo in the outfield from left to right. Logan Schaefer, Carlos Gomez, Norichika Aoki. Around the horn of the infield, Juan Francisco at first, Ricky Weeks at second, Gene Segura at short, Aramis Ramirez at third. Behind the plate is Jonathan LaTroy. One away here, top of the first. 3 balls, 2 strikes. The count to Daniel Murphy. The payoff pitch from Gallardo. Bounce to first base. Francisco will take it to the bag himself. 2 away.
Well, matter of location. And Jonathan LaTroy told me before the game that he will be stressing more on that glove and also on calming him down. You know, just to make sure there's no trying to over-generate anything on any of the pitches and concentrate on location. Velocity will be there, and I expect his velocity to actually pick up as the game picks up here too.
Is it kind of like in golf when it's breezy, swing easy? Just get out there and swing nice and easy, throw nice and easy?
Use the elements, and his best element right now is that slope. Use that slope on the mound to drive you through.
David Wright named to his 7th All-Star team earlier tonight. And he swings the first pitch, drives one to right field. Back is Aoki at the wall, makes the catch right in front of it. A 1-2-3 inning work by Gallardo. No score, and the Brewers are coming up. Taco Bell, sometimes you gotta live Moss. Norichika Aoki will lead things off. Gene Segura bats second, followed by his all-star teammate Carlos Gomez. Aramis Ramirez will bat cleanup. Jonathan LaTroy in the 5-hole. Juan Francisco will bat 6th. The bottom third of the order, Ricky Weeks, Logan Schaefer, and Giovanni Gallardo to face the right-hander Sean Markham on the season. 1-9 with a 5.03 ERA. And he's dealing with an interesting issue on that right arm.
It is. It's a pinching that he's feeling in his upper back. It's affecting his right arm and his fingers to the point where he's feeling some numbness and tingling. The arm extension to me is important today because we'll see if he's holding back. Maybe it's a sign of not feeling well with that loss of feeling sometimes in his fingers. Mental toughness, meaning he is one tough cookie that can get over that and run support. He is just a guy that's alone on the island when he's on the mound because he's averaging what 1.73 runs of support from his teammates when he's on the mound.
And the first pitch fastball tails outside to Norichika Aoki. 296, 4 home runs, 18 RBIs on the season. Out of that leadoff spot here for the Brewers. Fastball in there, strike 1, 1 ball and 1 strike. Aoki has been hot here since the calendar turned to July. In 5 games, 440. He's got at least 2 hits in 4 of the 5 games. 1-1, that's fouled away. 1 ball and 2 strikes now to Aoki.
Very few players in baseball nowadays are not afraid to take that swing right there. Slap it the other way. It doesn't matter how they pitch him. He stays right with it. That's why he is so tough to put away.
And I wish we had more players like that in the game today. Too many strikeouts.
We have time for that?
1-2. Bouncer up the middle. Tough play. Quintanilla tries for the bare hand. And an infield single for Aoki. It's just the first. We've got plenty of time.
On your point, these are the things that we're not seeing enough of. Also, with 2 strikes, just go out there and put the ball in play somehow. You talk about using the elements. Watch this. Use that rubber at home plate. Once that ball clears the mound, forget about it. And you're right. The choking up. There's a tough play right here for the shortstop. That is his only chance if he's going to make a play.
21st infield single this year for Norichika Aoki. And the Brewers lead all of baseball with infield hits. And now the all-star Jean Segura. A look back to first base. And this is the one thing that's kind of puzzling with Aoki. He's 9 for 18 stolen base attempts. That's not what you're looking for. But these numbers here for Jean Segura, 322, 11 home runs, 33 RBIs out of your shortstop. Yeah, you're happy seeing those.
Extremely.
Again, a look over at Aoki.
I looked at Aoki in some of the games, and you mentioned the poor percentage of stealing bases at 50%. It starts with his lead, and he's still learning more about the American style of holding runners too, which is kind of new to him. The speed is there, just the nuances he hasn't picked up yet.
First pitch is outside for ball 1 for Markham.
First thing you got to do, establish your lead at some point where you feel comfortable, and then know that the majority of those bases you will steal off the pitcher, not off the catcher. Every pitcher has a tendency that you can pick up. Some guys are just tough to run on, like a Sean Markham.
What makes especially a right-hander more difficult than some other right-hander?
A guy like Sean Markham, quick feet, and he holds the ball, which is the first deterrent you learn. Hold the baseball if you want to get somebody to stiffen up out there and not run on you.
And now Aoki takes off on a hit and run. Sharp ground ball. Nice play by Murphy at second. They'll get the out at first. Down to second goes Aoki.
That was just an outstanding job on the offensive side by getting the job done for Segura, but also to me on the defensive side, because this is cross coverage here. Look who's covering. It's the shortstop. So great anticipation there by Terry Collins and his crew in making sure that second baseman did not vacate that hole. That would have been first and third easily.
So now runner in scoring position here for the Brewers, bottom half of the first, and Carlos Gomez steps to the plate. He too was just named to his first All-Star team, and well, this is the reason why. His numbers are fantastic. 319, 13 home runs, 41 RBIs. And in those numbers, we don't mention 20 doubles and 9 triples. And Gomez in the air, left center field. Neuenhuis over by the warning track makes the catch. Aoki will tag up and head to third. 2 away here in the first.
Talked to Carlos Gomez yesterday, and he says, I'll tell you what, the best thing I can receive, the best news I can receive on Saturday when I get here is to know that I'm an all-star. He goes, all winter long in the Dominican, I had one thing in mind: secure my future and to make an all-star team. It's got both.
I was going to say, both goals accomplished. What's next now? Got to set a new one. 2 outs, runner on at third, and Aramis Ramirez will step to the plate. Ramirez, 274, 5 home runs, 26 RBIs, nursing a knee injury he's been dealing with all year long. And the first pitch fastball is up high for ball 1 from his former teammate Sean Markham. Markham pitched 2 seasons here with the Milwaukee Brewers, 2011 and 2012.
This guy is an RBI machine when he is right.
Good pitch there by Markham. 1 ball, 1 strike.
Being right, Justin, hasn't happened since the middle of spring training for Aramis Ramirez, when he slid at second base. Remember this game in preseason against the Angels, came out of that game, and that left knee just has been troublesome since. Started the season healthy and then went on the disabled list a week later.
Markham has a visitor. Outside. 2 balls and 1 strike. That dragonfly is still on the hat.
Got to hold on to something, right?
It's unbelievable.
That's a good grip right there. Beautiful shot.
That's how you know a pitcher is focused.
I said he was tough mentally.
In the dirt, 3 balls and 1 strike.
Now the hitter probably wants to say something and maybe doesn't want to say something.
This is like a prank. How about that fly just hanging on?
Looks like a feather. Huh? I think if I'm the hitter, I'm going to say timeout. This thing might fly at me too.
3-1, foul tips. Here's the real question. Could it actually be caught in his hat and he can't get free?
That too.
Now we may have to worry about the safety of this dragonfly. I think it's stuck. The way the wings are flapping, it can't go anywhere. There's no way it could be that strong that it could hang on. I know you do yoga. There's no way that dragonfly's core is that good with the balance.
What a good grip. Great balance.
The 3-2 up and in, ball 4. So first and third, 2 away here in the bottom half of the first.
Still holding strong. And Sean Markham has no idea.
Two away now, first and third for Jonathan LaTroy. On the season, 265, 8 home runs, 43 RBIs.
Well, LaTroy has really blossomed in these types of situations for Milwaukee with those 43 RBIs. Batting 5th behind Ramirez. Good gap to gap hitter, especially to right center field.
First pitch strike from Markham. LaTroy played for Team USA in the World Baseball Classic this March. And I don't think many people would have guessed that Jonathan LaTroy would lead his team right now in runs batted in. 0-1, base hit, center field. Into scores Aoki, first and second, 2 outs, and a 2-out RBI for LaTroy. That's RBI number 44.
That's what many are not surprised by what he has been able to do production-wise, because he keeps it quite simple with his swing, the approach, great hands. Look at the hand action here. Pitch right above the belt. Simple step right through the baseball and catching up with the level of baseball with the hands. That'll give you a quick lift with 2 outs, especially, and a downer because a 2-out walk. Comebacks to haunt Sean Markham.
Now it's first and second, 2 outs for Juan Francisco. A guy with some good pop. 11 home runs, 31 RBIs to go along with that 247 batting average. Good pitch there by Markham, and you could see Markham kind of shake that hand. Again, he's dealing with tingling, dealing with numbness in that hand. And he said, you know, he really can't throw that changeup very well anymore, so he's gone to a split finger because it affects the pinky and the ring finger on the right hand. No balls and 2 strikes.
And those are the fingers you need if you're going to hold the ball in the palm of your hand. As the ball slips out of your hand, it's going to be down to your ring finger and that pinky to give it the little extra fade on the changeup. But split finger, at least you don't have to utilize those as much.
Ramirez at second, LaTroy at first. The 0-2 from Markham. Backdoor missing outside. 1 ball and 2 strikes.
That was a pretty good pitch. I like the idea of trying to get a very anxious Juan Francisco to chase outside. Markham's not going to really surprise anybody with the speed anymore. He's averaging around 85 miles an hour.
1-2, got him. So Markham gives up a run in the inning on a 2-out RBI single by LaTroy. And if you're wondering, the Dragonfly has escaped. He is now free. It's 1-0 Milwaukee. Ford. Only Ford gives you EcoBoost fuel economy and a whole lot more. And by Taco Bell, sometimes you gotta live Moss. The Hank Aaron statue here in Milwaukee on a beautiful Saturday evening for baseball. I mean, you cannot get better weather than what we have here in Milwaukee this weekend.
It is a beautiful setup, and the support through the years from the community here has been outstanding.
An old Milwaukee Braves hat there. Ike Davis will lead things off here in the second against Gallardo. And the first pitch fastball's in there for a strike.
Just keep an eye on Ike Davis and the less movement he has brought out now with his swing and his approach.
In the dirt, 1-1 strike. Speaking with Terry Collins before the game, he said yesterday, before Zach Wheeler was to start the game, the entire media contingency of New York, not a single person asked about Zach Wheeler in the start. They all wanted to know about Ike Davis. Think about that. Zach Wheeler with Matt Harvey, those two guys have been talked about seemingly endlessly this entire season.
Right.
But it was all about Ike yesterday. The 2-1 from Gallardo. Outside now, 3 balls and 1 strike.
Everybody knows Ike Davis is a multi-talented player. You see the raw power and the fact that he's still learning how to be a hitter. But I think that love that everybody has for him in that clubhouse really separates him from other players in that roster.
Outside, ball 4, leadoff walk issued to Davis. How about the Ford keys to the game here?
Well, first of all, the Mets a much better ball club on the road. They're only 1 game under 500 away from Citi Field, and keep up that confidence on the road. And for the Brewers, starters need to give them a chance to win ball games because, Justin, as we know, that starters ERA is very poor.
The starters for Milwaukee this year, a 5.07 ERA as Marlon Byrd steps to the plate. And the first pitch is low and outside for ball 1. Byrd, 261, 12 home runs, 41 RBIs. He is quietly having a very good season here for the Mets.
Yes, he is. Also providing some great leadership from some of the young players in that clubhouse. And for a guy that was begging to get a job. Ended up going to Mexico in the winter. Got the job, made the club.
Fastball in the inside corner, 1 ball and 1 strike. Think about it, Bird, as you pointed out to me, you kind of just flash the numbers up without the names. He's got 12 home runs, 41 RBIs. David Wright, 13 home runs, 43 RBIs.
I think that's pretty wild. Would never have thought that. Not to take away from, we're not comparing here, by the way. We're talking about Captain America. But to see how far Marlon Byrd has come, playing in New York, non-roster invitee in camp, dealing with a suspension last year, going to Mexico, not for the money, but to play the game and prove to people that he could help somebody. There he is. Numbers speak for themselves.
Breaking ball is pulled foul. 1 ball and 2 strikes here to Byrd. You know, it's funny, you got a couple of guys here. Marlon Byrd was a huge prospect for the Philadelphia Phillies back in the early 2000s. I mean, huge prospect. Anytime there was a trade, they wanted Marlon Byrd. Nope, we're not going to give him up. Carlos Gomez in center field for the Brewers, a huge prospect for the New York Mets. He was the key cog in that Johan Santana deal. 1-2 blown right by him. Strike 3. That's the second strikeout of the game for Gallardo. And yet here they are now, years later, having success with different teams.
Yeah, as the game goes through the evolution, so do the players. And looking at this last pitch, seeing a lot of zip right now, a lot of life as the ball's approaching home plate from Gallardo. But you're right, Justin. The game, many times, you know, organizations want to hold on to that one guy, one key guy that has not proven anything at the big league level. And there's always that fear of what if we do and he blossoms somewhere else. No matter what, it's going to continue to happen with somebody at some point.
Kirk Neuenhuis. First pitch fastball's in there for a strike. Neuenhuis saw in the season 233, 2 home runs, 12 RBIs. Good pitch by Gallardo. No balls and 2 strikes. We mentioned 12 RBIs in the season for Neuenhuis. Well, he got 5 of those 12 RBIs last night when he went 4 for 4. A double, a triple, those 5 RBIs. And also 3 runs scored in that 12-5 victory.
He was on base 6 times on which was a very sloppy played game by the Brewers last night.
The 0-2 by Gallardo. Fastball is up high, 1-2. So what do you know? You play in 33 games, thinking, all right, 10 hits, 7 RBIs, 1 game, 4 hits, 5 RBIs. Why can't I do that every day?
That tells you can do it on a more consistent basis.
Breaking ball fouled away. Stays 1-2.
I've been working with Neuenhuis on staying closer also and covering the outer half. It's like that foul ball right there goes to the other way. It's a way of telling yourself, I can wait and trust my hands. Most slumps begin with the fact that you are not trusting your hands. You get jumpy, you get anxious, you start overcompensating. Before you know it, you're over 25, and it's all in your mind.
Good breaking ball there by Gallardo. Neuenhuis could not hold up. And that's the 3rd strikeout for Gallardo. Fox Sports has brought the team with Feeding America, a nationwide network of food banks that helps feed more than 37 million people in America each year through pantries, soup kitchens, and shelters. Visit feedingamerica.org/Fox Sports to learn how you can fight hunger in your community. Together, we're Feeding America. Back-to-back strikeouts here for Gallardo. And now John Buck at the plate. .205, 13 home runs and 40 RBIs. And Buck swings to the first pitch fastball. It's 0-1.
What a start he had to the season. He was slugging the ball everywhere. And he's cooled down since, but pretty decent numbers: 13 home runs and 40 RBIs.
Hitting just .172 since May 5th. Davis takes off from first base, and he will steal second base. That is the first stolen base of the season for Davis.
Got to pick your spots. And we were talking about Aoki earlier when he got on and stealing off the pitcher. Well, that is now 11 stolen bases. Nobody has been caught stealing with Gallardo on the mound this season. Pick your spots. Let somebody go. That's what Terry Collins just did.
1-1 curveballs outside to Buck. 2 balls and 1 strike.
I recall a game a couple of seasons ago. The Angels went into Citi Field. Dan Herron was on the mound. And yeah, people running all over the place. People usually don't run. But it's part of that preparation that Terry Collins has with those players on picking the smallest of pieces to win a game. Ended up stealing like 4 or 5 bases that day.
2-1. Good take there by Buck. 3 balls and 1 strike. How rare was that stolen base by Ike Davis? His first in September of 2010.
There you go. So far, Ike Davis in his return has done everything, I would say, in a short stay.
3-1. Swing and a miss. 3-2. Three balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs. Runner at second is Davis, who led off this inning with a walk against Gallardo. Since then, Gallardo has struck out Marlon Byrd and Kirk Neuenhuis, and now trying to strike out the side.
Sit on a breaking ball here.
The payoff pitch. Missing inside, ball 4. So 2 strikeouts in the inning, 2 walks in the inning. First and second, 2 away for Omar Quintanilla.
That was a pretty good at bat by John Buck. And what Gallardo wanted to do is see if he will chase a fastball in, get him off the plate.
Omar Quintanilla, 248, 2 home runs, 12 RBIs. I tell you what, you look up and down this Mets lineup, you see what they've gone through this year, and their record at 36 and 47. They're 12 and 8 in their last 20 games. I think Terry Collins has done a really good job. First pitch fastball in the outside corner for a strike.
In what has been a very challenging also set of circumstances. We can get into a little bit later in terms of the travel and the rain and the rain delays and no BP. I mean, a lot of things they've had to face, and they're playing their best baseball right now.
Low and outside, 1 ball and 1 strike.
The Mets as a team come into this game hitting only .243 with runners in scoring position. But I always say it takes that 1 hit. Could be hitting .222 as a team when in scoring position. It takes that 1 hit at the right time.
Getting some confidence from last night, scoring 12 runs. Fastball in the outside corner, and it's 1-2 now to Quintanilla. 37 pitches here already for Gallardo.
Ball travels well here in this ballpark, but I do like the way Ron Renicky has his outfielders positioned and taking away the line drive.
The 1-2. Ground ball to shortstop. Segura will step on second base, and that'll do it. No runs on no hits. 2 men left on. We head to the bottom half of the second. 1-0 Brewers. Is sponsored by Bud Light Lime-A-Rita and introducing new Strawberry Rita. I'm guessing a few people had that over the weekend here in the holiday weekend.
Oh, a long one too. Many celebrating, especially on the ballparks. Some beautiful scenery we saw all throughout, especially with the military coming back and
yes.
the meetings with the daughters and the sons and the wives is just beautiful.
Here in the second, Ricky Weeks will lead things off against Sean Markham. Weeks, 229, 9 home runs, 20 RBIs. And the first pitch fastball is on the inside corner for a strike.
For a team that has not performed up to the standards offensively, they're missing some key pieces like a Ryan Braun and Corey Hart. Ricky Weeks is a very important piece. It's good to see him swinging the bat better here the last 4 weeks or so.
0-1. No balls and 2 strikes. Ricky Weeks, his April and May, well, they were just ugly. June and July, a completely different story.
They're finally getting down to that quicker, shorter swing to the baseball and not lunging at the ball. He's got quick enough hands to go out there and just let that ball get a little bit deeper and whip it.
0-2's in the dirt, 1 ball and 2 strikes. Ricky Weeks is one of those tantalizing talents. I mean, so much power. Second baseman, quick bat. And I think everyone is just waiting for him to put it together consistently.
I think that ankle injury from a couple of years ago affected him more than maybe he even admitted. But you could see some of the mobility was lost around second base too.
1-2 chases, and there's the second strikeout for Sean Markham.
I'll give Sean Markham some credit. He's finding a way. And I think Terry Collins was very clear with us too before the game, Justin, talking about if he's not feeling well, if there's any numbness, he's not going to say anything.
Yeah. Think about it. This is a guy in Markham who pitched 8 innings in relief this year in that 20-inning game against the Miami Marlins. He took the loss, but he threw 8 innings. The first pitch to Logan Schaefer's in their first strike.
Just goes out there and competes. He's, you know, total team guy.
The 0-1 for Markham. Good off-speed pitch. No balls and 2 strikes.
He's got that going right now through great differential with his fastball, his short slider, the off-speed, and the way he got Francisco chasing in that first inning was with that last pitch we just saw there on Schaefer.
0-2 back up the middle, and Logan Schaefer has a hit. So runner on first, and Sean Markham will get a chance to face his former teammate and good friend Yovani Gallardo. And speaking with these guys before the game yesterday, this may be a little bit of a different scenario because you have a runner on first base, but Gallardo, you can see him right now. He can't look at Markham. He's smiling already. John Buck talking to him. Gallardo said, honestly, I'm going to have a hard time not smiling. It's going to be like I'm back in Little League, facing one of your good friends.
Markham's about to crack one himself. The one thing that Markham knows very well, don't make a mistake up in the zone because this man has some good power for a pitcher. Now 12 career home runs.
He's got 2 already this year. We were wondering would the first pitch be to the backstop. That can't happen now because a runner on at first base, and Logan Schaefer does have good speed. He's 2 for 2 on the year in stolen bases, but look at these numbers. I mean, this is a pitcher right now hitting 242, 2 home runs, 3 RBIs.
Oh, and by the way, he does have 3 sacrifices.
Not squaring around, takes the pitch low and outside for a ball.
First pitch breaking ball. I think he knows very well who he's facing. But also you can see that Markham, even aware of the possibility of the hit and run being put on by manager Ron Renicky because of Gallardo up there, did a quick step to the plate. And trying to throw off Schaefer at first.
We asked Gallardo who's the better hitter. And I said, honestly, because we're going to ask Markham the same question. And he goes, okay, I'll say I'm the better hitter. I'll play in the National League my whole career. And then we asked Markham, and Markham said, I'd say Gallardo too, but I'm a better BP hitter.
Counts for a lot. Markham goes for line drives in BP. Gallardo goes for the pop in BP and in the games.
One away here, bottom half of the second. 1-0 Brewers lead the Mets. And there's a base hit for Gallardo. Schaefer will try for 3, and he will get in there. First and third, 1 out. Time for a game break. Let's check in with Matt Vasgersian.
Justin, get a load of this. Dodgers, Giants in San Francisco, bottom of the first. Buster Posey batting with a runner at third and 1 away. An RBI double to give the Giants an apparent 1-0 lead. Not really. Don Mattingly saw something he didn't like, and he was right. Giants batted out of order. Run came off the board. Giants have scored 3 in the second anyway. It's 3-0 San Francisco. Back to you guys.
Thanks, Matt. How many times have you seen that?
In this day and age, you don't expect that to happen. Saw it happen with the Detroit Tigers against the Angels. Besides this,
look at the Giants and what they have done. I mean, this is the World Series champions. High expectations coming into this year, and right now last out west. Marichka Aoki rolls one over through the hole. RBI single as Schaefer scores. Gallardo heads for third. Well, 2-0 Brewers.
Yeah, nothing new, Justin, for Aoki. One of the best clutch hitters in this ball club. Came into this game hitting .304 with runners in scoring position. And he just puts the ball in play and finds it. Look at this. That's a tough pitch. Stays right through the baseball, finishes off that swing, and uses that gap between first and second.
5 hits in the game for the Brewers, all of them singles. And this has been an area where Sean Markham has struggled this year with runners in scoring position. The opponents have been batting .393 against him coming into this game. They're 2 of 4 in this one. A check on the runner Aoki at first base. And this is the danger zone right now for Sean Markham, because you've got a runner on at first base in Aoki, who Markham's paying attention to. You've got 2 runners on base and Gene Segura at the plate. So if you kind of let your attention go to the runner, well, Gene Segura tries one to the gap. Marlon Byrd is back there to make the catch. That'll be a sacrifice fly as Gallardo comes in to score the 3rd run of the game. .34th RBI of the year for Gene Segura.
And yes, Gene Segura can hurt you in many ways. As you're about to say here, does a good job here in great situational hitting. For the second time, Segura has hit the ball hard to that side of the field today.
2 outs now for Carlos Gomez, who flew out to left center field his first time up.
Talking to Segura before the game today, he says after the Brewers said, okay, you've had enough winter ball. He won the batting title back in the Dominican. He goes, he went to his uncle, who trained him every single day, only Sundays off, for 3 months. Track and field workouts besides BP and ground balls. How about that?
Watch out. Into the dugout for the Brewers. No balls and 1 strike.
Well, what Segura told me about that is he goes, hey, he got me into a mentality of, first of all, the 6-month season in the big leagues, the explosiveness that I need at shortstop, the consistency that I need, because he's still working on his footwork at shortstop, and he can run, obviously, but all those things he says are paying off right now very quickly.
He can definitely run. 26 stolen bases on the year. 0-1 Gomez almost corkscrewed himself into that batter's box. That's no balls and 2 strikes.
Well, he's not afraid to do this. He is going to go out there and let it go.
That's Dave Winfield-esque.
Yes, it is. Carlos Gomez always plays like his hair is on fire, man.
With the follow through, he got John Buck.
Not like Buck was reaching out or anything. Just a long after swing there by Carlos Gomez. I like that mask. Check it out.
It's a little tribute to New York. Statue of Liberty, Empire State Building, the Chrysler Building.
Very original. Well done.
Screaming baseball because he had so many home runs in the month of April.
It's coming at you.
It's pretty cool. Maybe he's starting a trend like they did in hockey with a hockey mask. That's a hockey mask right there. He's able to decorate it. 0-2 gets Gomez swinging to end the inning, but more damage has been done here for the Brewers as they score another 2. It's 3-0 Milwaukee. In America on Fox, Mets and Brewers, top of the third, and it's 3-0 Milwaukee. Giovanni Gallardo against Sean Markham on the mound, and now they face each other. The mound in the batter's box, and Gallardo looking at his former teammate Markham, smiling already. Let's see what he starts him off with. Well, a strike, 0-1.
Yeah, that's payback. That's a breaking ball. Difference is Gallardo didn't swing at the one he first saw from Markham.
We are joined now by a reliever for the New York Mets, LaTroy Hawkins, as he's enjoying this at bat. LaTroy, as a pitcher, if you're facing a good friend, how difficult is it not to break a smile?
It's pretty tough. You know, they have a lot of history together, playing here for 2 years, but you still got a job to do. You get to talk about it after the game, at dinner, a big fat steak.
So is it like a little bet here? Whoever gets more hits off the other, that one has to pay for the steak?
With these two, I'm sure there's some kind of bet going on, that's for sure.
1 ball, 1 strike here to Markham, top of the third. Outside, 2 balls and 1 strike. Now, if I'm not mistaken, you were teammates with Markham in Milwaukee as well, correct?
Correct.
Okay.
Correct. 2011.
A 2-1 from Gallardo. Pulled to third. That is a foul ball. 2 balls and 2 strikes. Well, LaTroy, you came up for the Twins organization. One of your teammates all the way, I think from single A up, was Torrey Hunter. Here you guys are now, around 40 years old, and Torrey Hunter today was named to the All-Star team. Looking at both you and Torrey, you still look like you're 23 years old.
Well, you know what? We work out together in the off season, so we're on the same program to look young.
What do you think about Torrey being named to the All-Star team?
You know what? I just texted him and told him congratulations, and he texts back with something Torrey would say, "I'm still fooling him, Hawk, still fooling him." I said, "Well, keep fooling him, T-nuts."
There's a strikeout for Gallardo as he gets his good buddy. That's strikeout number 4 for Gallardo in this one.
Hey, LaTroy, that steak just got a little thicker, buddy.
Oh, yeah. Well, hopefully he got another chance. He'll get another couple chances at him.
Hey, 23 years in professional baseball. How have you been able to hold up with that arm?
You know what? Just trying to stay healthy, work hard, eat the right things, no drinking, and just try to live a clean lifestyle. And it's definitely played off. And with some blessings from the good man upstairs, and I'll be able to have some longevity in the game.
Eric Young Jr. steps to the plate. I've heard rumors, and I'm going to need you to confirm this as Young squares the bunt, pulls it back. You're into Bikram yoga with my partner here?
Oh, it came out.
Yes.
Is this confirmed?
It's confirmed. I enjoy it. Well, I enjoyed it last year. I hadn't done it since I was in Southern California, but I had a good time going to different yoga facilities on each town that we went to last year on the road, and did it a couple times in Southern California, and it was a lot of fun.
See, I wasn't sure if he was going to be my friend after that, so I'm glad you still like me.
1 ball, 1 strike here to Young. Foul back out of play. 1-2 now to Young, who struck out to open up this ball game.
Hey, LaTroy, tell me about some similarities or differences that you see in Eric Young Jr. and Eric Young Sr., whom you also played for.
Yes, they're definitely similar. They both very athletic. Swing the bat. They definitely can run, and he plays the positions just like his dad. I mean, he turned a double play probably maybe about a week ago, and he looked just like his dad out there. So they're both very athletic on the field. There's not too many things on the field they can't do, and he's chip off the old block, that's for sure.
And you do remind him, man, I played with your dad, so you better listen to me even more, right?
You know what? The first day he came when he got here, I was like, it's kind of funny seeing him walk up the bat. I played against his dad. Now I'm playing with his son. So that's definitely an honor to get a chance to play with a father and a son.
And don't they have the same voice?
You know what? Not really.
Okay.
Not really.
First pitch to Daniel Murphy is outside for a ball. You've been with 10 different teams over the course of your career. How have you been able to acclimate yourself so well? Because you speak to anybody around baseball, they all talk about what a great teammate you are. How have you been able to acclimate yourself to all those different teams? You know what?
I just go in and just be LaTroy Hawkins. I'm good at being LaTroy. I'm not good at being someone else. And I don't judge. I'm not big of a judging people. You hear things from afar about how guys are, and you know what? I'm a firm believer about how guys treat you, you treat them. And I've never had a problem. I've always been welcomed into a clubhouse with open arms, and it's always a pleasure to, I look at it as a good thing playing for 10 different teams, not a bad thing.
1 ball, 1 strike here to Daniel Murphy, 2 outs, top of the third. We are speaking with LaTroy Hawkins as Murphy grounds one foul down the third baseline. 1 ball and 2 strikes. I'm going to put you on the spot right now because you mentioned steak dinners between Gallardo and Markham. In all those cities that you've been in, is there a favorite place to grab a steak dinner? And please don't tell me you're a vegetarian, because that'll ruin the question.
You know what? I did the vegan thing all last year, so but I had one steak. I actually had a steak this year in Philly at Del Frisco's with the family, and it was pretty good. But wow, nice hit.
There you go. Murphy lines one the other way. A 2-out single for Daniel Murphy.
It was good, but it's not something I would practice 2-3 times a week, or even 2-3 times a month.
Okay, so that's how you stay young. Good to know.
Yes.
Vegan for a year, steak once a month or so.
No soda. No soda whatsoever.
I agree.
Great job.
Bikram yoga.
And you've been exposed to, from the minor leagues to the big leagues, to every type of temptation around in breaking that.
Yeah, but I knew that if you take care of your body takes care of you. I'll have an old saying. I ask the person, what kind of car you drive? Well, I drive a Mercedes, or I drive a Toyota. I say, well, it's gas, right? Would you put diesel in that car? And it's a gas? No, you wouldn't. So I look at it like that. You know, our body is our temper. You can get a new car, you don't get a new body.
Justin, there's our lesson for the day.
Absolutely. 1 ball, no strikes to David Wright. And I have to ask you a quick question as far as now being a teammate of David Wright, seeing what he can do up close and in person. What is it like? What kind of player is he?
He's pretty damn good, that's for sure. He's the ultimate teammate. He's a heck of a competitor. He goes out there, he plays the game the right way. He's business on the field, and you know, he's a great ball player. But you know what? At the end of the day, he's even a better person, and I think that's a little bit more important.
Well, LaTroy, you're a great person as well. We thank you for taking the time, and good luck the rest of the way. Okay.
All right. Thank you.
And there's a ground out to shortstop to end this one. We are through 2.5 here in Milwaukee, and the Brewers lead the Mets 3-0. Spoke with his pitching coach, Rick Kranitz. The two of them.
It's good here to see, you know, they've done this pretty much every time he's left the mound. Go out there and more getting feedback. You can see that Gallardo is giving feedback to Kranitz on the things he's doing and what's working so far. And we've seen some pretty good finishes to most of his pitches here.
Aramis Ramirez leads things off here in the third against Markham. And he takes the first pitch for a strike. Ramirez walked his first time up. One ball and one strike.
Talking to Ramirez's manager, Ron Rennick, he told us, you know, for sure the knee issue has really affected Aramis at third base and at the plate. And we're talking about an RBI guy here, only hitting 200 this year with men in scoring position, career 294. But talk about Ramirez and the class he's in among other third basemen, production-wise. He's a pretty special player.
You know, it's funny. You look at this graphic, and he's fourth all-time among National League third basemen in home runs.
Kind of sneaks up on you, doesn't it?
Big time. Huh? Fooled on that one, pops it up in the infield. David Wright over in the shortstop area of the infield makes the catch for the first out.
When the captain says, I got it, you move out of the way. It's one of those times where if you're not sure as a third baseman that your shortstop can see the ball from the get-go and a ball is not that high, just continue going. Just continue to say, I got it. Eventually, he'll move. Plus, remember, you're David Wright.
It's weird. You look at guys, and as they come up, I mean, when David Wright first came into the league, there's a lot of hype around him, and he lived up to that hype. And now he is just named to a 7th All-Star team. And you think this guy is now considered a veteran in baseball. You know, you look at Derek Jeter with the Yankees, and the news around him is that he's just going to go to AAA, and I think he's starting tonight for the first time. But he's one of the oldest guys in baseball. As LaTroy crushes one to left field, Young looks up, gone. The 9th home run of the year for Jonathan LaTroy. And it's now 4-0 Milwaukee.
That is now 45 RBIs for the Brewers catcher. And this is a no-doubter here. The cut fastball did nothing out of the hand of Sean Markham. And believe it or not, that's only the 2nd home run allowed by Markham in over 34 innings of work on the road this season.
LaTroy with an RBI single back in the 1st. Now a solo shot here in the 3rd. And it's 4-0 Brewers with Juan Francisco at the plate.
And this is a very unforgiving ballpark. If you miss high here, forget about it. And it's not so much the dimensions, but just the way the ball travels.
Little flare. Calling for it now is Quintanilla on the outfield grass. 2 away. Next Saturday at Baseball Night in America, these Mets set to Pittsburgh to take on Andrew McCutchen and the Red Hot Pirates. Carlos Beltran and the Cardinals take on Alfonso Soriano and the Cubs. You can also watch the Rangers and Tigers, Rockies and Dodgers, Nationals and Marlins. Fox's Baseball Night in America begins next Saturday at 7 p.m. Eastern Time. First pitch to Ricky Weeks is their first strike. Well, the All-Star teams were named earlier tonight. These are the All-Star final votes for the final spot for the National League. And Yasiel Puig, the fact that he's on this list, I think solves all the problems that people have had as Ricky Weeks lines one to center field. A 2-out single for Weeks. But the conversation for the last 2 weeks has been, should Puig be an All-Star? And if he is an All-Star, is he taking a spot away from somebody else who's played the full, half of the season? Well, now it's up to the fans.
And it should have been up to the fans. And in this case, to me, thinking traditionally, the numbers speak for themselves. There's no doubt this guy has made a quick impact on the game, on the Dodgers, in the city of L.A., and pretty much has captivated the national attention. He's a special player. But I always stood by the body of work. To me, was not going to be enough for any manager to justify putting him in there. But thankfully, there's a fan vote. There's 5 finalists. Go at it.
Who do you think wins it?
Landslide.
Puig.
Yasiel Puig.
I agree. And you know what? I hope he does win it. I hope he's in the All-Star game because he is one of those players that is kind of must-watch TV.
Yes, he is.
Matt Harvey for the Mets, he could potentially start that All-Star game. He's become must-watch TV.
There's no doubt. Coast to coast, it doesn't matter what team you're rooting for. Harvey's on the mound. Puig is hitting. Somebody's watching.
The 0-1 to Schaefer. Low and outside. One ball and 1 strike.
I've talked to many players in the last 2 or 3 weeks when this whole thing started. And most players were against Puig being picked by a manager. I don't blame him. These guys are saying, I've been busting since the first day of the season. To have somebody that maybe is going to have 6 weeks under his belt to take a job from me from the All-Star, well, I'm glad it worked out the way it did, because even Bruce Bochy very early was very clear on his stance with it. And the fact that leaving guys out is the toughest part.
Right.
Now, imagine leaving somebody out and say, because this kid that's 22 years old, they got $42 million and has been impacting the world of baseball, I'm going to bring him in. It's just playing the way it should have played.
1 ball, 2 strikes to Schaefer, who singled his first time up, came around to score. 4-0 Milwaukee leading. Markham's 1-2, pulled foul. We'll do it again.
So it's somewhat of a similar case a couple of years ago with Steven Strasburg, who's not included. Last year, people, of course,
Bryce Harper.
with Harper, Mike Trout did what Mike Trout was doing. I mean, there was no argument. And Harper, of course, after even missing some time this year, still a very popular and productive player.
Another 1-2 from Markham. In the air, left field. Eric Young coming in will make the catch, and that'll do it here in the 3rd. But 4 runs on the board this time. The no-doubter from LaTroy. His 9th of the year. It's 4-0 Milwaukee. By Bayer Advanced Aspirin, the official pain reliever of Major League Baseball. And by Ford, only Ford gives you EcoBoost, fuel economy, and a whole lot more. Back here in Milwaukee, on a beautiful Saturday night, the Brewers lead the Mets by the score of 4-0, top of the 4th. And Ike Davis will lead things off here against Giovanni Gallardo. Davis walked and stole a base his first time. Goes the other way with this one to Logan Schaefer in left field to make the catch. 1 pitch, 1 out. And we welcome in the hitting coach for the Milwaukee Brewers, Johnny Narron. And Johnny, thanks for joining us. First things first, I think it is so cool that you are on a coaching staff with your brother Jerry. I've got a brother, and I can't imagine what that would be like. So what is it like for you guys every day coming to work and being near each other?
Well, we have a special relationship. I have a tremendous amount of respect for Jerry as my brother, obviously, but specifically as a baseball person. He's very talented, and he understands the game, and he gives us the best chance to win as our bench coach.
1 away now for Marlon Byrd, who struck out his first time up. 5 strikeouts in the game so far here for Giovanni Gallardo, and the first pitch is low and outside for ball 1.
Johnny, you saw Gene Segura for some time last September.
Right.
And his development as a hitter, are you surprised how quickly it's come to him?
Well, he's a very talented athlete, and we had him for a little over a month last year. And we have a progression drill that works on the 5 dynamics of our offense. And he applied himself. He's got great aptitude, and he applied that. I gave him some things to do on his when he went home and played in the winter leagues, and he came back and started right back with us in the spring. And like I said, he's just a great athlete with very good aptitude, and he carries over what we teach him into the game.
Well, Johnny, from one All-Star to the other, Carlos Gomez, last September, he started hitting the ball real hard, and it's carried over to this year. What happened that all of a sudden it clicked for a guy who many thought was supposed to be a superstar back when he was with the Mets and the Twins?
Well, that was a process last year. You know, it was my first year with Carlos for last spring training in 2012. We developed a relationship, and I talked with Carlos, and he told me what he felt like he needed. I looked at what I saw and shared that with him. We came up with a plan. And again, a young man that's tremendously talented as an athlete. And we put together some progression drills for him, and it worked out for him. His timing is better now. He's got better pitch recognition. His plate discipline is a lot better, and his power has always been there. I think it was just something we had to tap into.
2 balls, no strikes. The count here to Kirk Neuenhuis, who struck out his first time up. And now it's 3 balls and no strikes to Neuenhuis. And Johnny, I have to ask you about your relationship with Josh Hamilton. Now he's with the Angels, but you're with him in Cincinnati, then in Texas.
Right.
Do you still speak to him? What is that relationship like?
You know, Josh and I have a very special relationship. You know, when I was with him in Texas, we recognized I may get an opportunity to be a big league hitting coach. I was an assistant coach in Cincinnati and Texas. And Josh said to me, he said, "Don't let me hold you back." And that meant a lot to me. And we still continue to have a very special relationship. And, you know, I miss him, obviously, but, you know, he's going to get it turned around, and he's going to be a big impact for that Angels team going down the stretch.
How tough has it been for you to watch him struggle after signing the big contract?
Well, you know, he's in a new situation, and I knew he had to make adjustments and adapt to it when he got over there, but I know how talented he is, and I know how determined he is, and it was something I knew he would work through.
Well, Johnny, thank you so much for joining us, and good luck the rest of the way. Have fun coaching with your brother.
Thank you for having me.
All right, thank you.
Thank
as Neuenhuis flies out to Schaefer to end the inning. A quick 1, 2, 3, 4th work by Gallardo, 4-0 Milwaukee. The good friends facing each other again. Sean Markham and Giovanni Gallardo. And the first pitch is in there for a strike on the outside corner. Gallardo singled his first time up.
He can't stop laughing.
I think that's so cool.
There was a lengthy conversation yesterday before batting practice between these two, and it revolved around these at-bats.
Each one wanted a scouting report on what the other one was going to throw them.
Well, I've never seen two pitchers throw so many breaking balls to each other as I've seen here so far.
The 1-1 from Markham.
Oh, that's the right pitch. Tie him up.
Markham.
See,
Is he smiling?
Markham's not going to look at him right now, but that's what you do to your friends sometimes. You embarrass me, that's what I'm going to do to you.
Look at Gallardo. He said it reminds him of playing in Little League. And he said these moments, they're really special. They don't come around very often anymore. 1-2 goes to the breaking ball. 2 balls and 2 strikes.
Yeah, then he's got Markham buzzing him inside, and he's 2 shakeouts going, what in the world? What else could he throw me right now?
Hey, just so you know, Markham's due up third the next half inning. 2-2. That's fouled off the instep of Gallardo.
Well, Gallardo ended up at first base with a single last time out, but he was shaking that right hand like he had just got jammed by the worst way. You see Gallardo using a thumb guard, and his right hand, his top hand, is protecting that throwing hand, obviously.
Gallardo was a Silver Slugger back in 2010 as the pitcher for the National League. The trade rumors circulating about Yovani Gallardo. 2-2 from Markham. Fouled away.
Well, where he's throwing the ball today, there's a lot of people probably saying, you know what I see so far, it's going to play out well against any lineup. It's just the way he's been hitting the corners, the finish, and going after people with his fastball, using both sides of the plate.
2-2s in the dirt. 3 balls and 2 strikes.
What Gallardo was telling me is, my feelings are mixed about this whole thing. All I've known is Milwaukee Brewers baseball.
Yep.
But he's also seen what's happened here in the past with certain players, and as recently as Zach Greinke last July going to the Angels. So he also understands that it's part of the business, and he does have an attractive contract for the ball club too.
3-2. Gallardo the other way. Back is Bird. He will not get it. One hops the wall. Gallardo heading to second. He is in there with a double. So let me get this straight. We spoke to LaTroy Hawkins. Who has to buy the stake dinner? The guy with the hits or the guy who gives up the hits?
Got to be the guy swinging the bat. Are you kidding me? That's a beautiful swing. You take that swing and take away the name Gallardo, and that's just a good swing from any good hitter. Great protecting the outer half. Not afraid of getting buzzed as he was in one of those pitches. It tied him up inside.
That's his 10th hit of the season, the most of any pitcher in baseball. So a man in scoring position now for Narichika Aoki, who's 2 for 2 of the runs scored. And the pitch misses down low for ball 1.
If you can't get him out, there's no stake for you, buddy. If I get you, there's a difference. I'll be going for the Kobe beef at this point.
Oh,
make it more expensive. Come on.
Oh, look at you.
2 for 2. Go for it.
1-0. Rolled over. First base. Davis will tag Aoki as down to third goes Gallardo. On July 16th, baseball's greatest stars gather in the most exciting city in the world for the biggest event of the summer. Baseball's Midsummer Classic returns to New York with home field advantage for the World Series on the line. It's the 2013 Major League Baseball All-Star Game, live from New York City Field, July 16th, only on Fox.
And the display will be on, and the Brewers well represented.
Gene Segura, one of the 2 Brewers on the All-Star team named tonight, with Carlos Gomez the other. The infield is now in with Segura at the plate and the pitcher Gallardo on at third base and 1 out. First pitch is in there for a strike. Why is Segura an All-Star? Well, when you're in first and second in 4 categories, that's why.
Just an electric player. Brings a lot to the table and a lot of energy with his ball club. And what a key piece in that Zach Greinke trade with the Angels.
on the outside corner. No balls and 2 strikes from Markham to Segura.
I remember doing a report right before that trade happened for that whole period, and I'm going, Ron Renicky knows the Angels system so well. I said I would not be surprised if the Angels do land Zach Greinke, but Ron Renicky knows exactly what to ask for and put his input there with Doug Melvin. Obviously, the general manager pulled the trigger on it.
Well, they got a stud in Segura.
That's good scouting.
0-2 misses inside. 1 ball and 2 strikes. You know, you look at Gene Segura and you look at his body type. You don't see necessarily a shortstop the way we see shortstops built these days. He's like a fire hydrant.
He is, and actually he made the transition from second base in the minor leagues to becoming a shortstop.
The 1-2 for Markham. Line drive by Murphy into right field. An RBI single for Segura. His second RBI of the game. And it's now 5-0 Milwaukee.
Well, Johnny Narron, outstanding job with his young man. You mentioned the word aptitude, boy, and you talk about aptitude for the game. To have a young player that can really get it quickly and not being afraid to go out there and whatever you work on an extra hitting in the cage. Different tips are you getting in the batting tee. Go out there and try them immediately and give it a chance to work for you.
A good offensive night here for the Brewers, as 10 of the 20 batters have reached base already.
You know, throughout this season, their top 3 hitters have been a headache for other ball clubs. Problem is, from there on, especially without Ryan Braun, who is the key clog in that offense.
You know, I think if Ryan Braun is in the lineup right now, if Corey Hart's in the lineup right now, and I know there's ifs, every team deals with injuries, but that's what this Brewers team was looking at. A running lead as Gomez skies one to center field. Nieuwenhuis going back on the warning track, makes the catch. And going back to first base casually is Segura, and he just beats the throw. And that's one of those that will kind of drive you crazy as a manager.
Just go hard all the way. You have no other reason after that ball's caught to continue to look at the play. But look at Segura, his lead. That's where Carlos Gomez should have taken that pitch for him. There's no reason for Segura to go back this slow. Anticipate getting back. I mean, you already crossed second base, did all the right things. Why mess it up for not hustling?
Very, very close at first base. Now 2 away for Aramis Ramirez. The Brewers have scored at least 1 run in each of the first 4 innings. Ramirez fouls the first one back. No balls and 1 strike.
Of course, easy for me to say Carlos should have taken that pitch. Carlos doesn't think that way. Gogo is on the go all the time. And Ron Renicky can pride himself in his team today, being aggressive on the base pass. Carlos, big part of that. And with that also comes a lot of mistakes. But his team has gone first to third twice here today. Perfectly executed hit and run also back in the first inning.
Wouldn't be surprised if Segura tries to steal second base here. During this at bat, it's 1 ball, 1 strike. You've got 2 outs in the inning. Ramirez on at the plate, trying to get into scoring position. See if he can drive one in.
Markham's going to be throwing some spinners out there no matter what. What I've noticed is since Gomez was hitting with that 1 pitch, how much Segura has shortened his lead at first base.
26 of 29 on the season in stolen bases, and a throw back over.
On the opposite side of Gallardo, who has allowed 11 stolen bases this season. Markham has allowed 2 stolen bases this season with 4 caught stealing, so he does give his catcher a chance, especially with that slide step.
Throw over again.
And it's all about the feet. You watch Markham and the way he sets up, holding the baseball as we talked about earlier, but also if a runner is trying to look at his feet or look at his shoulder, it's all going in one direction at the same time. So he's really one of those guys that's tough to pick up.
One pulled to third, diving stop by Wright. He'll go to first base for the out. That's a nice play by the 7-time All-Star third baseman. But another run in the inning. It's now 5-0 Brewers. Comparison presented by Fox Sports 1, America's news sports network, coming this August. Right now, Yovani Gallardo getting the better of his good friend Sean Markham in this one. John Buck leads things off in the fifth. The first pitch curveball missing low and outside for ball one.
It's come down to execution by the guys on the mound, and we see that Markham has missed over the plate way more than Gallardo has, and he's paid the price.
Another off-speed pitch is high. 2 balls and no strikes.
Much better direction today for Gallardo all the way around.
2-0 hit well down the right field line. Aoki going back into the corner. That is a fair ball, and Buck stopped running. And what is the call? As now the throw comes all the way to third, as Buck is into third with a triple, and the second base umpire Jim Reynolds is signaling for a home run. So first base umpire Bob Davidson said fair ball, and then second base umpire Jim Reynolds said home run. And now Ron Renneke has to come out and find out what exactly is going on.
I'm talking to the umpires today exactly about the challenges that this ballpark might present. With the yellow line, the cutouts in the wall, not symmetrical at all. And here's a tricky corner here.
Well, that hits the foul pole, so automatically that's a home run.
There's a very clear home run right there. The ball, the way that ball caromed off that pole. There it is.
And if they need to go back for a review, this should not take very long at all.
And what we first saw from Bob Davidson, as he mentioned, is he was more worried at first about fair or foul. And in that, he might have lost track of the direction of the baseball.
You know how confident I am right now that this will be ruled a home run? I've already put it in my scorebook as a home run.
It's done right here, buddy. I'm doing the right thing. The umpires, of course, under so much scrutiny lately. You have the opportunity to get it right with the technology now in place. There it is. Clearly, it's right there.
Bob Davidson down the line says fair ball. But you can see he never gives a signal for the home run.
Thinking perhaps maybe because it's so high above the wall, he wasn't too concerned about the yellow line as a boundary, and I'm guessing he figured that John Buck said it's a home run. Because of how high the ball hit off that pole.
Well, it will be eventually, going to say with confidence, the 14th home run of the year for John Buck. And there it is. So John Buck with his 14th home run of the year puts the Mets on the board now 5-1 here in the 5th inning. Second base umpire Jim Reynolds, he's the one who signals for the home run. And you can see Tim Tuffle, the third base coach, he's pointing, saying that's a home run.
Oh, the interesting thing here is think about the angle they both had that Bob Davidson didn't have. And with the glare sometimes in this ballpark, I could see where it could have been a slightly problem there for a veteran umpire.
So leadoff homer by Buck. Now Omar Quintanilla steps to the plate. Quintanilla run it out to shortstop his first time up. And Quintanilla laces one to left field. That drops in for a base hit.
So all of a sudden that home run by John Buck could give the Mets a little momentum here, and Gallardo maybe check him off a little bit.
The Mets had one hit through the first 4 innings against Gallardo. They have 2 hits in their last 2 batters. Check on the runner at first base. Quintanilla has not attempted a stolen base yet.
And this is where, in the National League, obviously, you can be very aggressive in the corners. With Markham up there, especially Ramirez, though he does have a bulky knee. You're aggressive enough. If he bunts it too hard, you have a chance to go make that play at second base.
Markham squares around 2 bunt, pushes it towards first base, and that'll be foul.
And the other thing we'll see is the inexperience at first base by Juan Francisco. Francisco seems a little bit lost out there, what his responsibilities are at this point. He's just learning how to play first base. The third baseman by design and getting the opportunity now. But you can see the many times he's looked in that dugout to say, after I hold him on and he shows bunt and the ball's delivered, what do I do here?
They've had a plethora of first basemen this year, had the Brewers. Down low, 1 ball and 1 strike. I can remember coming back here, being back here in May, on May 4th for a game against the St. Louis Cardinals. Alex Gonzalez was at first base. Yuniesky Betancourt was at first base. I mean, these are guys who are like, wait, these guys were shortstops, middle infielders, and now they're playing first base. 1-1. Good job getting the bunt down by Markham. And Gallardo will toss over to Francisco for the out. Sacrifice. 1-3 down to second base goes Quintanilla.
The conversation continues as Markham rounded around Gallardo. A couple of words exchanged there. Well done by the veteran pitcher, helping his own cause and getting that runner closer to home plate.
So 1 away now, runner in scoring position now for Eric Young Jr. 0 for 2 with 2 strikeouts, 1 swinging, 1 looking.
for Gallardo. If you're looking for a way to get yourself straightened out, remember he came into this game with a 6-8 record. ERA near 5. Only 8 quality starts and 18 starts. This Mets team is one of the lowest hitting teams in baseball at 233 coming into this game.
And again, the trade rumors circulating around Gallardo. The one that you hear often that involves the Arizona Diamondbacks. One-0 is bounced to first base. Francisco steps on the bag. Down to third base goes Quintanilla, 2 away.
We know Kevin Towers has a knack for getting talented players. Gallardo, as awkward as might be for him, knows that he could be an asset to any ball club. He's got the youth, he's got the experience, he's got the competitive edge, and a very attractive contract, really.
A career record of 75 and 51, a 3.75 career ERA. You think about if the Diamondbacks do acquire him, if with all those rumors, you've got Corbin, Kennedy, you throw him into the mix.
It's a deep, solid rotation all the way around.
Daniel Murphy takes that first pitch, changeup for a strike.
Gallardo has done some special things here in Milwaukee. I mean, 4 years with over 200 strikeouts.
No balls, 1 strike to Murphy, 1 for 2. Singled his last time up. Breaking ball, check swing. The appeal to third base. He did not go, says John Hirschbeck. 1-1.
See a more fluid delivery all the way around from what we saw last time when he was on the mound against the Nationals. With his body flying open. Seems like everything is on a straight line today. Not trying to overpower anybody and just letting it ride with the good stuff that he's always had.
1-1, pulled inside the bag down the right field line. That'll score Quintanilla. Daniel Murphy, he will head into second base. Trouble in the corner for Aoki. It'll be a 2-out RBI double for Murphy. He is now 2 for 3, and it's a 5-2 ball game.
It's a tremendous help when you can come out here and find out what Gallardo is trying to do against you. Murphy's done a fine job with that. Goes the other way in the third inning. Now pulls it, and Aoki a little bit of trouble in handling that baseball over there in that corner right now.
That was the first double for Daniel Murphy in his last 20 games. He came into this game with 20 doubles on the season. Hadn't had one in 20 games.
That is absolutely crazy. And how this game is, man.
And now he's 2 for 3.
Oh, so you think I'm a doubles machine, and then this game shows up to humble you.
And David Wright, a chance with a runner in scoring position and 2 outs. He's 0 for 2. A fly out to right and a ground out to short. In the dirt. Good stop by LaTroy.
We talk about David Wright, the all-star, once again, how quickly it kind of happened for all of us, and watching him, and well-spoken since before he got to the big leagues. Well-educated guy, loves the game. He's a fan of the game. And in New York, no scandal, just plays the game. He is the Derek Jeter of the Mets.
Yep.
He represents the game of baseball the right way.
On the inside corner at the knees. Look at what David Wright has done since his major league debut. Leads the National League in games. First in hits, first in doubles. This year came into this game batting .305 with 13 home runs and 43 RBIs. Outside, and it's 2 balls and a strike here to Wright.
I recall one of those outstanding dinners by the baseball writers in January, and the awards dinners, and listening to David Wright speak, I'm going, wait a minute, this is a rookie? I mean, he could have been running for office for all I know. The well that he represented baseball, and how well he spoke, and his passion for the game of baseball, and all the time he's put in.
You know, you think about it, he and Jose Reyes came up just around the same time, and the Mets had a decision. Do you maybe sign 1, sign 2? What do you do, or get rid of? Well, They let Jose Reyes go as a free agent. They signed David Wright this past offseason. He is the face of that franchise. 3-1, foul back. 3 balls and 2 strikes.
Talking to his manager about his ability to change a game with a swing, with a stolen base, with the glove. And one thing that just stands out in my mind about something Terry Collins told us was, he says he can hit. This guy can really hit. And at times he's gone through some changes, maybe trying to generate more power. But he is a natural with a bat.
Murphy at second. The 3-2 from Gallardo. Foul back again. We'll do it again at 3-2.
Justin, if you look at him too from a mechanical standpoint, and he's got the strong forearms and the wrists and the hands, so his swing really has never had the necessity or even thinking about over generating and getting long, because he's got the short arms, which allows him to get that barrel to the baseball quicker, but also he keeps those hands close to his body, able to fight off tough pitches and still cover the outer half.
Another 3-2 breaking ball pulled. Nice stop by Ramirez. Gets to his feet, and that saves a run. John Buck got this inning started going the opposite way off the foul pole for the home run. Was it? Yeah, it was a home run. Chevrolet find new roads here in Milwaukee. Bottom half of the 5th inning. 5-2 ball game. And Jonathan Lucroy will lead things off here against Sean Markham. And the first pitch hits the outside corner for a strike. Lucroy is having himself a ball game. RBI single in the first, solo shot in the third. Markham with a breaking ball. No balls and 2 strikes.
Well, first inning when he came up, this is where the center fielder was playing Lucroy. And now watching the stuff coming out of the hand of Markham, the way Lucroy's hit the baseball, you make the adjustment.
Markham's 0-2 off the end of the bat, little cue ball, and there's one away. It's a 5-2 game right now. Very easily could have been 5-3 if not for the play by Aramis Ramirez to end the last half inning.
He has a great jump here to his left on a tough hop too. They're cut up there with the grass, and the dirt where it gets a little hard, and he stays right with it. Smooth hands. Watch him give in.
Aramis Ramirez originally came up with the Pittsburgh Pirates. And think about what's happening right now with those Pirates.
That was a special year happening over there. And Aramis, hopefully, is okay after making that play.
Aramis Ramirez was then traded to the Chicago Cubs as Francisco takes the pitch outside.
So the Pirates play the Angels recently, and let me tell you, what a machine. Starting pitching to the bullpen, the young arms, and the young bull and Pedro Alvarez, McCutcheon and company. It's a pretty special team.
Missing outside, 2 balls and no strikes. Ramirez went down into the tunnel. You hope he's all right. Again, dealing with a knee issue, a recurring knee issue. Speaking of issues, Sean Markham, you could see him blow on his hand every now and then. Off-speed pitch pulled. Nice play by Murphy from the outfield grass. 2 away. And the reason is, again, he's dealing with an issue kind of as he moves his arm now with tingling, numbness in that right hand. And he went for an MRI this week to see if there were any blood clots. There weren't. So he said, as long as I knew there were no blood clots, I'm going to keep on pitching. I will figure out a way to get it done.
So that's concern number 1. They saw Dylan G go through that. And as recent as just a few weeks ago, Angels' Jason Vargas blood clot in his left shoulder that has been operated on since.
Ricky Weeks went to the first pitch, 0-1.
You can see Markham reaching back a lot with his hand. Sometimes he's trying to dry it up. I mean, his hand has to feel extremely cold.
Well, we shook his hand yesterday, and it was freezing.
Yeah, now with the sweat and all that kind of stuff, makes it even more slippery with little feeling.
1 ball and 1 strike. You give him a lot of credit.
I think Terry Collins made it clear to both of us just to say, you ever been around this guy? He's not going to say anything. He's going to go out there and compete. 8 innings in relief. Kidding me?
Weeks back up the middle. A 2-out single for Ricky Weeks. He's now 2 for 3. And that's 10 hits in the game for the Brewers.
Justin, they need Ricky Weeks to be Ricky Weeks. And soon they'll be getting Ryan Braun. Apparently Ron is just a few days away from maybe joining their lineup. Also Braun nursing a bad thumb.
Two outs for Logan Schaefer. Singleton scored back in the second. Flew out to left field his last time up. 5-2 here. Bottom half of the 5th inning in Milwaukee. Justin Kutcher alongside Jose Mota. And Markham's first pitch is in there for a strike. Again, see him blowing on the fingers. It's 86 degrees at game time here in Milwaukee. The roof is open. It can't be a prettier night for baseball.
It's not about moisture.
Weeks bluffs. The pitch is low and outside. 1 ball and 1 strike.
You can see him continuing to flex that right hand even more now than earlier in the game.
Think about that. You basically don't have feeling in a couple of your fingers, and you're going out pitching in a major league game.
You see him hold it with his fingers that he has the most feelings with. You mentioned earlier how he has gone more to the split finger than to the changeup for that reason. Split finger will put the pressure on your index and your middle finger and your thumb as opposed to your ring finger and your pinky.
And we talk about the bulldog mentality that this guy has. He's at 77 pitches trying to get through 5 innings. You know he's going to try his best to get through 6, if not into the 7th inning, just to kind of give this bullpen a rest because they have been so taxed.
In Markham's mind, there's no doubt he's thinking, as long as I can stay here, there's a good chance, because the team is playing at a high right now. They're playing their best baseball at this point, the Mets are, especially on the road.
Weeks on at first base. 1 ball, 1 strike. The count here to Logan Schaefer. 2 away. Bottom half of the 5th inning. Weeks takes off. Buck, the throw from his knees. The tag by Quintanilla. They got him. What a play by Quintanilla at shortstop for the scoop. And Buck from his knees gets him. Sometimes you gotta live Moss. And by Budweiser, America's beer supports America's heroes. Here on July 4th weekend, hope you're having a great one. Ricky Weeks called out to end the inning on a stolen base. You make the call. Was he out or was he safe? And check this out. Look where the tag is, kind of on the bicep, before the hand gets to the back. That is a fantastic call by Jim Reynolds.
Well, he also looked at the front foot of the shortstop Quintanilla. Kind of threw a slight block there on Ricky Weeks. And he stayed right with that play.
1 ball, no strikes to Ike Davis leading off here in the 6th inning against Giovanni Gallardo. Fouled back at a play. 1-1, new third baseman in. Iniesky Betancourt replaces Aramis Ramirez. You talked about it, Jose. After that play, that diving stop, would it be okay? And now Weeks and Jim Reynolds having a conversation out there in the infield about that stolen base call.
Very close play, but he was out.
In the dirt, 2 balls and 1 strike to Ike Davis.
More concern, Justin, here for Ron Renicky, who had planned on giving Ramirez the off day tomorrow. You know, they usually have been resting him on day games, but now they're going to use the All-Star game to their advantage and the break to see how they can accommodate to alleviate that pain in that left knee that continues to bother him.
3 balls and 1 strike.
Again, if that was the case today, we'll find out.
Ike Davis, 3 through 6 hitters for the Mets tonight, still looking for their first hit. And Davis works his second walk of the game, and that's something that you wouldn't have seen Ike Davis do before he was sent down to the minors.
Well, this is 2 walks today, and he has been seeing the ball way better.
The Fox Sports 1 fan cam caught fans here at the ballpark who are excited about Fox Sports 1, America's new sports network, coming this August. Some autographs, some tailgating, but Fox Sports 1 is on their mind. Hey, a mini slide. I want to go down that slide out there in left field.
We have time. How about the high one up there in left field?
That's what I'm talking about.
Right from the top.
Bernie Brewer already went down with LaTroy's home run. Marlon Byrd fouls it back into the screen.
And going back to Ike Davis and the way we see him approach his at-bats now. Well, look how high that thing is.
Are you saying you're scared you wouldn't do it?
Ooh, now that I see it, no.
Really?
I'll stay with the yoga. All right. I'll lose my balance or something.
All right. Well, game on. I'm ready.
And here's Davis.
Next half inning, I'm going out. You're doing play-by-play and color all by yourself.
Let's do it.
The 0-1 from Gallardo. Fouled away. No balls and 2 strikes.
Anyhow, we talked to Terry Collins about Ike Davis and how the results were showing up. Less hand movement, and also get him straight up a little bit more. He was wide in his stance before he went down to AAA on June 10th, and they finally got him to a point now where there's less movement and just a quieter approach. In 2 days so far, it's looked pretty good.
Oh, 2 called strike 3. Their strikeout number 6 for Gallardo.
He continues to hit the spots, and the ability to pitch backwards, something he's always had. And Marlon Byrd thinking breaking ball and ran the fastball right back over the plate.
1 out now for Kirk Nieuwenhuis, who's 0 for 2. Struck out and flew out to left field. In regards to Ike Davis, I don't know if there's anybody in baseball not pulling for him. To see a guy go through the struggles that he went through this year, went through the first half of last year. The Mets brought him back from AAA when they were on the road on purpose. This way he doesn't come back to Citi Field, and if he has a bad game, everyone starts booing him again.
And no matter what, the media following him is also very thick, even here on the road.
Nieuwenhuis. Davis trying to get to third base, and the throw is not in time. And Nieuwenhuis takes the extra base. The hustle by Ike Davis.
Oh, here's a play in which you as an outfielder have to be very conscious of who is running, how far you have to go to make a throw, and your chances. And this is too risky of a play for me. You got to throw that ball to second base. You have to keep that man at first base and keep the double play in order. It doesn't take away from a great job of hitting there by Nieuwenhuis, who continues to torch the ball here in Milwaukee. You got to get the ball down, and look at the jump by Davis. He knows the left fielder has to go to his left. He throws with his left arm. He got to throw across his body, and Davis does the right job, and he just got in there. Nonetheless, you got to take that risk to make it happen.
And now John Buck, who homered his last time, steps in with runners in scoring position. And the first pitch is low and outside for ball 1. A 5-2 ball game here in the 6th inning. And the Mets have a chance. You get the tying run at the plate, who's already hit a home run.
That could be like one throw, ill-advised throw, could change the whole inning.
Breaking ball, pulled foul, and it looked like on the replay Segura was pointing towards second, and the throw came in the third.
Segura did his job and verbally and physically saying, hey, that ball needs to go to second base and throw it on a hop.
That's the part of baseball that I absolutely love. A lot of people will think that's inconsequential. That could prove to be huge.
Yes, sir. Little things like that change the whole inning. The season to be changed.
Back up the middle. Rounding third base is Nieuwenhuis. A 2-run single for Buck, and it's a 1-run game. John Buck now with 3 RBIs on the night.
And all of a sudden, in the last 10 hitters, we have seen a different Yovani Gallardo. And once again, costly throw cost another run.
With that, we get some action now in the bullpen for the Brewers. John Axford begins to throw. But sports' biggest event of the summer is heading to New York, and the festivities begin on Monday, July 15th, with the Home Run Derby on ESPN. Then on Tuesday, July 16th, the Midsummer Classic kicks off with the red carpet show on MLB Network, followed by the actual game at 7:30 p.m. Eastern, right here on Fox. Omar Quintanilla, who singled and scored his last time up, will bat with a runner on at first base and one out here in the 6th. And by the way, again, going back to that ball that Logan Schaefer threw into third, if he throws that to second, maybe all of a sudden that infield is playing double play depth, and you've got Segura closer up the middle. Maybe he gets that ball.
And what would have changed for sure, I can tell you with this right now, Justin, is the pitch sequence to get Buck to roll over something.
1-0 misses, 2 balls and no strikes.
A lot of things can go, and you're talking about those nuances of the game and how much value they have. They don't make any of the highlights at the end, but those are the things you pay the most attention to in spring training. Those are the things that, you know, managers like Ron Redecky and Terry Collins stress so much. And when they lose games for things like that, it hurts them more than sometimes getting blown out 10-1.
Quintanilla to left field. Back is Schaefer. There to make the catch, and retreating to first base is Buck. 2 outs, and Markham will step to the plate.
You go back to things like pitcher forgetting to cover first base, somebody losing sight of their responsibility on a cutoff. Sometimes, something we see a lot of baseball nowadays is zigzagging across from the outfield to the infield to throws home, where you say, wait a minute, you got a line right, so there's not so much zigzagging going across the diamond.
Markham sacrificed bunt his last time up, now batting with 2 outs and a runner on at first. You know, physical errors, those are going to happen. Mental errors, those are the ones that drive you crazy.
And they're going to happen too, but it's a matter of you as a player know that you will make a lot of mental mistakes as you come up. When you come up, the pressure of the big leagues, whatever, but you got to minimize them as you mature as a player. You can have 20 years in the big leagues, you're still going to make a base running mistake. You're still going out there and swing at different things. So it does happen, but you have to minimize it. And the players,
watch Segura here.
Clearly, he's saying, hey.
Oh, maybe he was saying actually to third base.
And Segura, I'll tell you one thing. Segura was aligning himself to get that throw, to position himself to make a throw to second base if he had hit him with that throw.
One is fouled away. 1 ball and 2 strikes here to Markham.
If we go back and look at Segura, he's thinking, I don't think he's going to throw this ball to third base, but let me align myself just in case he throws it to third. He's going to have to hit me. He continues to look to his right. See, he's saying, okay, when he hits me with this ball right here in case he goes here, but look, he's not out there with his arms up saying, here, hit me here. In other words, he's thinking, no, there's no way that throw is going to come in this direction.
1 ball, 2 strikes to Markham. A look on the runner Buck at first base.
But I guarantee you, next time this happens, because of that, he will be more physical in pointing out, or even vocal and saying second base, or hey, get that ball over there with his arms, his fingers.
Low outside, 2-2.
So Markham has a chance to hurt his friend here by swinging the bat. It's not a bunting situation, obviously, here. And Gallardo is 2 for 2 against his old friend. Markham 0 for 1 with a sack.
Buck with that 2-run single on at first. The 2-2 breaking ball to shortstop. Segura to second for the out, and that will end the 6th inning. But the Mets with 2 runs in the inning. It's a 1-run game as we go to the bottom of the 6th.
United America game break 25 days away from the trading deadline, and FoxSports.com senior writer Ken Rosenthal has news of a deal that's very close.
The rich are about to get richer. The Dodgers are on the verge of getting Ricky Nolasco from the Marlins for 3 minor league pitchers, none of them top prospects. The Dodgers will absorb the rest of Nolasco's remaining salary, about $5.5 million. Top of their rotation now, Kershaw, Greinke, Rue, and Nolasco.
Ken, thanks for the latest trade buzz around the league. Log on to FoxSports.com as we get you back to Justin and Jose in Milwaukee.
All right, thanks, Matt, and thanks, Ken. So there's some news as Yovani Gallardo is back speaking with his pitching coach, Rick Kranitz. But there's some news around baseball, and that trade deadline still a few weeks away. But the Dodgers not wasting any time. Josh Beckett going on the DL, done for the season, trying to go out and get an arm to try to help them make that push for the playoffs. With all that payroll, they're doing whatever they can.
And now is the time. You have the revenue to get it done. Go out there and get it done.
Logan Schaefer, first pitch swinging. Singles to right field.
And I'll say now's the time for the Dodgers. They're playing very good baseball. I mean, many people gave him to being done 2 or 3 weeks ago. But what a surge between Quig. Hanley Ramirez has been brilliant. Looks like their bullpen's getting better. Here's Gallardo with his offense today, helping his cause. Single in the second inning and a double in the fourth. And both times he's come around to score runs. Now he's hoping to fix himself on the mound. He's been hit hard here the last 14 batters.
You know, you'd think maybe you should pinch hit here for the pitcher, but he's such a good hitting pitcher that you may not want to waste one of your pinch hitters from your bench because you may need them for later.
Exactly. With this guy, and he can ask him to sacrifice, you can ask him to hit. He becomes another position player for you right now for this moment.
Squared around 2 bunt, and the breaking ball is over the head of Gallardo.
They say, my friend, it's a bunting situation.
He says, my friend, it's now a run game.
This one got away from Sean Markham. Threw that breaking ball a little bit too hard. So far this season, Gallardo 3 sacrifice bunts.
Here comes Terry Collins out to speak with his infield. They're all going to come in for this meeting.
Also a checkup here on Sean Markham. Could that pitch be one that says maybe the numbness is affecting him? That was a quick sprint there by Terry Collins. And also right on the railing of the dugout, it's Ray Ramirez, the head athletic trainer for the New York Mets, keeping a close eye on things. And Ramirez himself almost actually sprinted out to the field with Terry Collins.
Well, that meeting is over. There is action in the Mets bullpen. LaTroy Hawkins, who we spoke to earlier in the game, is warming up out there. A look back at Schaefer. Schaefer can run. 1 ball, no strikes. The count to Gallardo. A single, a double, 2 runs scored.
And the Brewers have to find a way to get that run back.
Right charging from third base. Gallardo. That is a foul ball, but heads up play there by Buck. Pounced out from behind home plate. Went to second because he knew he had that force out. And if that's a fair ball, that's a double play.
The ball beats Gallardo a little bit here as he's way too far back, but you can see the spin going back, and the great call there by James Hoy right on it. If you're John Buck, you don't wait for a call. You start the play, complete the play.
1 ball, 1 strike here to Gallardo.
Also have the option of the hit and run here with Gallardo hitting with a chance to pull the bat back.
It's weird. He looks more comfortable swinging away than he does bunting.
Don't say that about a pitcher very often, but it's the truth. I would let him hit.
Reaches for it, offers on it, so it's 1-2.
And I will let him hit because before the at bat, before this pitch, he's shown that he's not going to be overmatched by Markham. He's put the ball in play hard twice. You're still up by a run. You have good speed at first base. And he could have gone from showing bunt to pulling back. You see what happens with the defensive side of the Mets. They're still looking for the bunt at third base.
Gallardo gets it down, deadens it. Markham throws to Murphy. It's off his glove. Schaefer rounding third, being sent home. Here comes the throw, not in time.
And you and I were just talking about those little things that can come back and hurt you. Great bunt all the way around by Gallardo. You see how he deadens this ball. Look at the spin. The ball dies. Good throw. Not a bad throw at all by Markham. And aggressive base running gets it done.
Will be the end of the night for Markham. LaTroy Hawkins is coming in. Runner at second now, 6-4 Brewers. Let's take a look at this play. With 2 strikes, Gallardo gets the bunt down, and watch Daniel Murphy. Just kind of takes his eye off the ball.
And Murphy got caught looking to the bag and to the ball, and for Logan Schaefer never even doubted that he was going to be sent home. Outstanding job by third base coach Ed Cedar getting it done.
Aoki puts down the bunt. Hawkins low throw, dug out by Davis. That is a big play there by Ike Davis.
Well, we talked from going from one of the lowest points defensively to one of the highest points. Here it is. Look how quickly Davis gets back to the bag, and great communication there also by the third baseman, David Wright, directing traffic. Great scoop. You start with that glove low and you make it work its way up. Smooth hands.
So 1 away, Gallardo on at third. And here's Gene Segura, LaTroy Hawkins this year. This guy's 40 years old. He's at the ageless wonder, 3-1, a 2.97 ERA. 92 miles per hour. He's number 2 in appearances in games among active pitchers. You know who number 1 is? Mariano Rivera.
How about that?
And both guys still look the same, still pitch the same.
All-star Mariano Rivera.
1-0, good pitch. 1 ball, 1 strike.
Well, LaTroy can surprise you once in a while and flip a 94, 95 out there at you. Pretty decent movement.
Segura 1 for 2 in this one. An RBI single his last time up with that infield in. Takes one at the knees at 94, 1-2.
And Segura has the ability to hit the ball hard everywhere. It doesn't matter where it is. When he pulls it, when he goes center field, and that is strength. Look at center field and right field. That is why he came leading in the National League in hits today.
One and 2 the count. The 1-2. Ground ball, second base. Murphy will check the runner. Gallardo, the pitcher, is not going to run on that, so 2 away.
It's a good job there by LaTroy Hawkins keeping the ball down. Also a fine job by the defense starting with the baseball. Ron Renicky decides not to run on contact, which is very interesting to me.
Is that because it's the pitcher at third base as opposed to a position player?
Yes, exactly. Because Ron Renicky brought that attitude of his Dodger days, former manager in the minor leagues with Mike Scioscia as a bench coach and third base coach with a lot of contact plays, but don't take a chance with your pitcher running.
And Carlos Gomez, who's 0 for 3, steps in. In the dirt. Good stop by Buck. 1-0.
Of course, Renicky didn't have to think about that in the American League. There's never a pitcher running unless you're playing interleague games. Whew. As long as that glove is going down and as long as you're centering the ball, you give yourself a good chance to stop it.
A cutter right there by LaTroy Hawkins. 2 balls and no strikes. On deck is Yuniesky Betancourt again because Aramis Ramirez went down after making that diving stop. A 2-0. Fouled away. Watch out. That's a screamer.
That's a little that little extra zip he found it down 95 miles an hour by the old veteran. 23 years in professional baseball for LaTroy Hawkins.
John Axford warming up out there in the bullpen. Gallardo, a starting pitcher, is on at third base.
Gallardo's had a lot of time around the base paths today.
On base all 3 times.
3 times. He's scored twice, hoping to make it 3 times.
A 2-1 from Hawkins. On the corner, strike 2, 2-2. 95 from LaTroy Hawkins.
Can bring it, man. There's a lot of miles on that arm. As he told us earlier, finding a way to take good care of himself as the longest career.
Buck sets up outside. The 2-2. Too far outside. Now 3 balls and 2 strikes.
Troy Hawkins is the best pitcher I've ever seen when it comes out to a speed pitch. If Gallardo's not at third base right now, he will go right from the knees, never stop, go home. And I saw him strike out about 3 guys that way. He'll go right from here, start his delivery, and go. Of course, can't do it with a man on base. But hitters are like, what?
The payoff pitch. Outside, ball 4. First and third, 2 outs, and now Yuniesky Betancourt, his first at bat of the game. 206, 9 home runs, 33 RBIs.
Well, this is an offensive unit that does not like to walk a whole lot. The Milwaukee Brewers. Great at bat there by Carlos Gomez.
Bottom half of the 6th inning, 6-4 Milwaukee on top of New York. LaTroy Hawkins in relief of Sean Markham. Gomez takes off from first, uncontested. Stolen base for Gomez. So it's second and third, 2 outs, and 1 ball, no strikes to Betancourt. Popped up in the infield. Murphy at second makes the catch to end the inning. An unearned run in the inning, and Milwaukee leads 6-4 at the end of 6. Yovani Gallardo done some damage at the plate. He's gotten some defense behind him. And his team leads, which makes Bernie Brewer very happy right now as we go to the 7th inning. And it's 6-4 Milwaukee over New York on a beautiful night here in Milwaukee, Wisconsin. Gallardo's night is done. Some fist bumps from some of his teammates. The new pitcher into the game will be the right-hander John Axford. Axford struggled his first 3 games of the year, and since then has been, his first 17 games of the year. Then he's been lights out recently. He'll face the top of the order, Eric Young Jr., Daniel Murphy, and David Wright.
And if there's been a bright spot for the Brewers collectively, it has been their bullpen. And here they go to work.
And the first pitch at 95 for a strike.
Starters with that 5.07 ERA we talked about earlier, worst in the National League, but the relievers 3.00 ERA, third best, right behind Atlanta and Pittsburgh.
Breaking ball, ground ball to second base. Ricky Weeks, 1 away. Chevrolet, the official vehicle of Major League Baseball, is celebrating a new season for new memories. For your chance to win a community field makeover and an all-new Impala 2014, visit ChevyBaseball.com. I don't know if you saw, but speaking of new field makeovers, it's not a new field makeover, but the Little League fields out here behind this ballpark.
It's a big league field.
It is awesome.
It's beautiful. And how nicely it matches up with this structure here, too.
Daniel Murphy Takes the first pitch up high for ball one. Murphy.
Justin, we talked about Gallardo and the opportunity he may have of being moved, but there's quite a few candidates in the Brewers bullpen. And I know I talked to a couple of scouts, and they really like some of those arms.
One of them right now on the hill as Murphy goes the other way. He has 3 hits in the game. Takes a wide turn at first base, and he will get back to first with a 1-out single. Talking about trade rumors and whatnot, John Axford's name has been mentioned. K-Rod's name has been mentioned. There has been a trade that went down today. Ricky Nolasco went from the Marlins to the Dodgers. Ken Rosenthal reported that just before. But Axford's name, Gallardo's name, and
Jim Henderson's name.
Yeah.
Michael Gonzalez's name. I mean, there's some good arms out there in that bullpen. And the Brewers are in a situation where they come into this game at 19 games behind in their division. They can afford to listen and start restocking that farm system again.
First pitch breaking ball is low and outside. Doug Melvin, the GM of this Milwaukee Brewers team, has not been shy about making moves in the past.
No, and he is one of the most respected general managers out there in baseball.
The move that really kind of put this team on the map was a few years ago when they made the trade to get CC Sabathia.
I agree with you. That was a message.
It's huge.
That was a message saying we're this close. We're going to go out there and get the top guy. Not only a message to the fans in the city, but to that clubhouse.
1-0 to David Wright. Breaking ball. Good pitch. 1-1. That 2008 NL wild card, that's when they got CC Sabathia. And then Sabathia came out here. I mean, people talked about him being up for the Cy Young Award because he was so dominant when he came over.
Yes, he was. And he was not afraid to get overextended on the pitch count during that nice run.
Inside to right. Whew, that's close.
CC came with a mentality of, I'm coming here for a reason. Short rest.
3 days. No big deal.
Let's go get it done.
And what was funny, we talk about Gallardo, what he did tonight at the plate. That's what CC Sabathia loves so much, especially about coming to the National League, was getting a chance to hit. 2 balls, 1 strike to Wright, who's looking for his first hit of the night. Big swing, 95, 2-2.
That's a live arm by the youngster. Just 2 years removed from having saved 46 games. That is some extra zip on that fastball. As we mentioned, the Dodgers, not forgetting about one of the biggest acquisitions for Doug Melvin was Zach Greinke.
Yep.
After his tremendous year with Kansas City.
And then he flips Greinke and gets his all-star shortstop.
How about that?
The long wait by Axford. Breaking ball. Single through the hole on the left side. Murphy will stop at second. First and second. 1 out. And Ike Davis is coming up.
Captain America does it again. As good a fastball as he saw, he has the ability to recognize pitches, pretty much pause his body to hit a breaking ball through the hole. An amazing talent he is. I mean, look at this adjustment. He just saw 95, then he hits this pitch right here. You see his body staying under control, keeping those hands back. He goes, that could have been 95 or it could have been 89. He was ready.
Ike Davis 0 for 1, 2 walks, a run scored. Coming up in a big situation right now for the Mets. John Axford has not allowed a run since May 14th at Pittsburgh, a span of 23 games. And now the Mets have runners on first and second, 1 out here in the top of the 7th.
Justin, this is one of those show us where you have Ike for many people.
Starts him off an off speed pitch, high for ball 1.
Quieter approach. He's more stand up there at the plate.
Another breaking ball, 2 balls and no strikes.
Maybe that's a pitch that the old Ike Davis would have been wailing at. There's such a difference in his mentality now. Going down to AAA, 21 games, 7 home runs, but more about the mental break of the big leagues and the ability to work on his own early every single day out there in triple-digit temperatures.
Axford's 2-0. Up high now, 3 balls and no strikes.
Justin, when you hit 32 home runs in the big leagues, that's no accident.
No.
You have pop, and watching him take batting practice, the ball absolutely jumps off of his bat to every part of the field. He's pretty much outside the batter's box. Look at the back line.
Let's see on 3-0. Takes ball 4, his 3rd walk of the game. So bases are now loaded. 1 out, and Marlon Byrd is the hitter.
And again, what has been the strong point for the Brewers is getting a little shaky here.
Michael Gonzalez warming up out there in the pen for Milwaukee. Rick Kranitz just coming out, trying to calm down John Axford. Bases loaded, 1 out here. Next Saturday, baseball night in America. The Mets will head to the Pittsburgh, take on the first place Pirates. The Cardinals and Cubs, great rivalry. The Rangers at the Tigers, Rockies and Dodgers. The Nationals will play against the Marlins. Fox's Baseball Night in America begins next Saturday at 7 p.m. Eastern Time. Marlon Byrd 0 for 3. You see his career with the bases loaded, and against John Axford in his career, 3 for 5 with a walk. Daniel Murphy at third base, right at second. Ike Davis at first. And the first pitch, breaking ball. After a 4-pitch walk to Ike Davis, Marlon Byrd gets up there. He's thinking, I'm getting a fastball.
He should have been thinking, I'm getting a fastball, but that was a well-executed pitch and a great change of pattern there by Axford. LaTroy, and of course the input of Rich Kranitz.
The 0-1. Line drive, center field, coming in as Gomez makes the catch. Tagging up is Murphy. He will score to make it a 1-run game. So a sacrifice fly for Byrd. 6-5 and 2 outs with runners on first and second.
And Carlos Gomez was very fortunate that that throw did not get away from him more, but he pretty much just let it go there. And LaTroy does a good job in going to get it. The direction of the ball is taking his body in that spot, and that's exactly where the throw is.
And that's the first run that Axford has allowed since May 14th.
And it's not an easy read. In case you're asking, why is David Wright still at second base? It's not an easy read for the guy at second base.
Well, also, he's not going to tag up on that one going to third.
No. I mean, the play is further from home than it is from third base. So he's thinking he's got so much momentum coming in. If he decides to hold the ball and throw to third, I'm done.
Right.
Maybe even no run scoring.
NYN Singleton scored his last time up. Fastball on the outside corner, 1-1.
And one thing I've been certain here after the out to open up the inning, Axford has been hit hard. There's a line shot there by Marlon Byrd to center field.
Breaking ball, misses low and inside. 2 balls and a strike here to NYN. A 6-5 ball game. here in the top of the 7th inning. Breaking ball called for a strike, 2-2. The last 2 games for this Brewers bullpen, uncharacteristic.
They have gotten a lot of shut-down innings this season.
2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs. Runners on first and second. Axford's 2-2. Line drive, left field. Schaefer going over to make the catch, and that'll do it. The Mets get a run back. It's time to stretch them out here in Milwaukee. 6-5 Brewers. Milwaukee, the Brewers through the Mets 6-5. And on this day, back in 1933, the inaugural All-Star Game at Comiskey Park in Chicago. The managers, John McGraw, Connie Mack, Babe Ruth was in that game. You know, just a couple of ho-hum people.
Yeah, and the first home run was hit by, of course, the Babe. AL won that ballgame 4-2. In front of 47,595. You know what's amazing, too, out of that roster? 20 Hall of Famers. 20 Hall of Famers out of that roster.
So you're saying the fans got it right?
Yeah, you got it right, yes. The All-Star concept got it right.
No balls, 1 strike here to Lucroy. Line drive caught by Ike Davis at first.
Outstanding defense 2 times today by the Ike at first base. Nice reaction on that play. And takes another one away from a very hot hitter in Lucroy.
One away.
I was looking closer at that game in 1933. They used 6 pitchers total. 3 by each club. That's it. Middle reliever.
And no DH.
No DH. Middle reliever came in and threw 4 innings for the National League.
Or their pitch counts. That must have been important back then, right?
What pitch count?
Juan Francisco chases one at his eyes for the first strike.
A clicker? Come on.
They had the radar gun up there too, right?
All that stuff. Threw that heavy ball, by the way, too.
0-1. A feeble swing. No balls and 2 strikes.
Yeah, that was ugly. That was totally fooled there by Juan Francisco, who's had trouble as a young hitter coming up through Cincinnati system. Everybody thought this guy's third baseman of the future, but just is not consistent enough in hitting big league pitching. Now, when he connects, it does go a long way, but not consistent enough of the breaking ball.
Ground ball to second base from the outfield grass is Murphy. 2 away. Today's telecast is sponsored by Lowe's. Lowe's never stop improving. And by Bayer Advanced Aspirin, the official pain reliever of Major League Baseball. 2 outs here, bottom half of the 7th. 6-5 ball game. Justin Kutcher alongside Jose Mota. The Brewers leading the Mets. 2 good friends, Giovanni Gallardo and Sean Markham, squared off against each other.
I thought you were going to say two good friends up here in the booth.
Heck yeah. Of course. And the best part about our friendship is that neither of us has to stand on a box when we go on camera.
That is the best part.
1 ball, no strikes here to Weeks, who's 2 for 3. Singled his last 2 times at the plate.
But anyways, he has very good friends in Gallardo and Markham. It was a nice matchup and still a pretty close ball game. But they were not on their game. Neither of them.
Fouled away. 1 ball and 1 strike.
We talk about young players that really I thought were going to be signatures for an organization. DeMile Weeks, Ricky's brother with the Oakland A's, came out with a bang 2 years ago. And today finds himself still in the minor leagues trying to get that back.
Yeah. Just saw a shot of Jim Henderson warming up out there in the pen for the Brewers. 1 ball and 1 strike. The count here to Weeks. Rolling outside, 2-1. Bullpen for the Mets. You see those numbers. You look at the Dodgers, and if they want to make a comeback, they've got to improve the pen. And it's funny, the Dodgers had Kevin Gregg in camp, let him go. Now he's the closer for the Cubs, and he's another guy who's been rumored to be on the trading block.
Maybe he'll end up back with the Dodgers. Who knows? The Dodgers let go of Kevin Gregg and Mark Lowe in spring training.
Hawkins 3-1. Chopper. Nice play. Third base by Ed Cedar.
Justin, but you're right. They're going to need more from especially Brandon Lee, whom they gave a 3-year contract to. And Kenley Jansen, the fact that he really still is an unproven closer. If you're going to have the Greinke's and the Ryus and keep you in games, you got to have somebody out there at the end that can seal the deal.
That expression, you're only as strong as your weakest link.
It is. I mean,
the payoff pitch. Outside, ball 4. The Mets still have yet to have a 1-2-3 inning by their pitchers in this game.
it truly has meant opportunities up and down for Ron Renicky and the Brewers.
Logan Schaefer. As the pinch hitter is in the on-deck circle, Sean Halton, but Logan Schaefer scored that big run in the 6th inning on the error by Daniel Murphy. And Schaefer fouls the first one out of play.
Schaefer really showing the skills and, forgetting about a play that changed the inning and helped the Mets out on the throw that he made at third, and coming back and leading off that inning immediately and clearing the mind and taking care of the other side of the baseball and separating both. That's great to see. And then the base running alertness was very impressive.
And that right now is the difference in this game. Check on the runner, Weeks at first, who was caught stealing back in the 5th inning on a throw from the knees by John Buck, and a great tag by Omar Quintanilla, the shortstop.
And again, that was another runner that gets caught with Sean Markham on the mound. Amazing the opportunities he gives his pitchers, his catchers, I should say.
Looked like Weeks was leaning just a bit. It's funny, you look at Ricky Weeks, he doesn't look like your prototypical second baseman.
No, he doesn't.
Gene Segura doesn't look like your prototypical shortstop.
They can both play.
The 0-1, there goes Weeks. Throw down by Buck. High throw. And Weeks this time has the stolen base. You could see he was itching to go.
That is 5 on the year now for Ricky Weeks, and good for him to go out there and once he gets a chance to go by his manager, Ron Renicky. Even after getting thrown out on a very close play, has a great jump. High throw by Buck, but it got there fairly quickly. And there's a difference between somebody like a Markham, who's a 1-1, 1-2 to home plate, or 1-3, 1-5 guy like LaTroy Hawkins. You saw the rush in the throw by the catcher, Buck.
Runner in scoring position. The 1-1 to Schaefer. Missing outside with the off-speed pitch. 2-1.
And that is a huge run standing out there at second base right now.
Can Hawkins get out of this inning without a run scoring? Fouled away. 2 balls and 2 strikes.
Nice swing. Go out there and protect.
What has made LaTroy Hawkins this effective for this long?
I would say consistency in his delivery and the mindset of also being a guy that he's been asked to start a game, to be a closer, to be a middle guy, to be the last resort out of the bullpen. I think the mentality of loving the game, health for sure has been, of course, you know, on his side. But you look at his delivery, very clean and simple.
Missing inside.
You don't see a lot of flying parts or any movement that throws you off, that puts more stress on one part of the body, lower part or upper part of your body, but straight over the top, consistent, stiff front leg, and still throwing 95 miles an hour.
I mean, there's no reason he can't pitch 3-4 more years.
I agree.
Iron outside, 3 balls and 2 strikes.
And then when we talk about 90s, 94, 95, he's not trying to overgenerate that fastball. It's just coming out of his hand because everything before that is so correct.
It's just funny. I mean, how simple his delivery is, how simple Mariano Rivera's delivery is. Both guys in their 40s, both guys still effective, and both guys still dealing the 90s.
And it allows them, by being so clean in their delivery, to also consistently hit spots.
The payoff pitch. Pop foul out of play. We'll do it again.
You know, people talk about Mariano. Hitters tell you, you know what's coming. You know exactly what's coming, what speed, but he consistently puts the ball where he wants it according to your swing. And Mariano also has one of the best two-seam fastballs, which he also saves for the right situations. You know, he's got a righty leaning out over the plate a lot. He did it to Albert Pujols earlier this year. 2 fastballs inside, 2-seamers, done.
8th pitch of the at-bat here to Logan Schaefer. Schaefer wins the battle to the gap in right center. Weeks will score. Schaefer will stop at second. A big 2-out RBI double.
I tip my hat to Logan Schaefer, number 8 hitter. And the way he's played the game here today. What an outstanding at-bat. And the whole time anticipating getting something to hit short after that baseball. And look at that line drive. Brewers capitalize on the 2-out walk by the veteran.
Ricky Weeks, after that stolen base, got into scoring position, came around to score on that RBI double. As Dan Worthen is out to speak with LaTroy Hawkins, the pinch hitter is going to be Sean Halton. Halton will pinch hit for the pitcher. Of course, that's John Axford. Sean Halton on June 27th. Bottom of the 5th inning against the Cubs. That seeing eye single. And that was his first major league hit in his first major league at bat.
Tracked that baseball and don't fall for that trick.
And the fastball is outside at 95 to Halton.
Had a chance to talk to him yesterday. He's from Northern California, and he's got some mega power. There are some balls being deposited here in batting practice, still flying out of here.
The 1-0. Broken bat, center field. NYN there to make the catch, and that'll do it. But a big insurance run by the Brewers. They now lead 7-5. Here in Milwaukee, we go to the 8th inning, 7-5. Brewers lead the Mets. And a new pitcher on the hill for Milwaukee. That'll be Jim Henderson, another guy who has been rumored or mentioned in rumors for trades. 3-2, 2.05 ERA, 30 2/3 innings. Opponents batting 198 against him. He'll face 7, 8, 9 in the order. So John Buck, Omar Quintanilla, then you would think a pinch hitter. And the first pitch slider. John Buck tonight against Giovanni Gallardo. Off the foul pole for a home run. They went in to review it to make sure. And then he came through again with a 2-run single in the 6th. Check swing, watch out. Oh. Let's hope that fan is all right down there. It's amazing. You get those seats, and they're such good seats, but you don't realize how quick that ball gets on you.
Don't put your head down for any reason.
Don't text during the game, only during half-inning breaks.
With so many bats flying out lately, you know, I'm surprised more protection has not been provided for the fans sitting that close.
No balls, 2 strikes here to Buck. And he chases a slider. A 3-pitch strikeout for Henderson.
Oh, that is absolutely outstanding pitching there. We're setting somebody up for Jim Henderson. Another terrific story out of that bullpen. Look at this ball absolutely disappear exactly where Cooper was located. That's where that ball traveled. But he and Axford, you know, both Canadians, special circumstances, tough circumstances to get to the big leagues. And here they are, being rumored because they're so valuable to their team and maybe to other teams outside of this organization.
Omar Quintanilla takes the first pitch fastball low and outside for ball 1.
Henderson was drafted by the Montreal Expos back in 2003.
The who?
Do you hear that name? Those Expos.
Again, the fastball missing outside. 2-0 to Quintanilla, who's 1 for 3, singled and scored back in the 5th inning. Flew out to left field in the 6th and grounded out to shortstop his first time up in the 2nd.
And at one point, Henderson was a Rule 5 pick by the Chicago Cubs, who eventually released him.
Line drive, base hit to right field. That'll bring the tying run to the plate for the Mets. And that will be a pinch hitter, Jordany Valdespin. Go to MLBFanCave.com and pledge your NL or AL allegiance. Don't miss the action. The 2013 All-Star Game, Tuesday, July 16th at 7:30 p.m. Eastern Time, 4:30 p.m. Pacific, only on Fox. Valdespin with a runner on at first base. On the season, he's hitting 192. Hitting here in the pitcher spot. The Mets do have Greg Burke warming up in the bullpen.
Valdespin last season extremely valuable and dangerous coming off the bench.
Fastball is outside, ball 1.
He does have some power. He likes the ball down and in, and he's not afraid to let it fly. Finished last season with 5 pinch hit home runs, even though he only hit .214 as a pinch hitter.
Outside, 2 balls and no strikes. Now LaTroy will go out and speak with Henderson. Mike Gonzalez warming up out there in the bullpen. Fox Sports 1, America's new sports network. It is coming. It's approaching quickly. August 17th. The meeting on the mound. Everyone is settled. All right. 2 balls and no strikes. The count here to Valdespin. 5 runs on 9 hits, 1 error for the Mets. That 1 error was costly as it allowed Logan Schaefer to score all the way from first base on a sacrifice bunt. 7 runs on 12 hits and no errors for the Brewers. Top of the 8th inning. The Mets won game 1 last night 12-5.
Got to keep the way away from Valdespin.
Pop up left side of the infield. Betancourt at third base calls for it. for the out number 2.
Well executed pitch there. And good hitters count for Valdespin, whose swing got way too big. Thinking long ball.
And now Eric Young Jr. 0 for 4. 2 strikeouts and 2 groundouts. The Brewers came in a record of 34 and 51. The Mets 36 and 47. .95 coming down a bit, dropping down.
Changing the arm angle. Different view, different window for the batters. Makes it very uncomfortable, especially against right-handed batters. I just can't get over it and can't say enough about stories of perseverance like the one he's had and the one Axford had. It's terrific. And, you know, add to Henderson the fact that he lost his father, Neil, when he was 14 years old. And you say, you talk about perseverance. And what I saw from my father, who died from ALS, he says, never, ever did I hear my father complain about pain or being weak. He goes, how could I not take that into what I do now? It has been a source of inspiration, his late father, Neil.
And to experience that, to see that at such a young age.
Yes. As his baseball career is kind of going, okay, I might have something going here as a 14, 15-year-old.
Two balls, one strike. The count here to Young. 2 away in the 8th. Henderson misses inside, and now it's 3 balls and 1 strike.
He missed by a lot. You saw where LaTroy was sitting, that outer half, pretty much following the pattern that he had in a hitter's count against Valdespin. And that time Henderson threw way across his body, missing his location.
Up high, ball 4. So that'll bring the go-ahead run to the plate. And Daniel Murphy, they've got a lefty warming up in the bullpen in Gonzalez. Let's see if that is it for Henderson.
You have a lefty warming up for a reason, and he's been up for a while now.
Yep. Here comes Ron Renicky. So we talked about this bullpen, which has been a shutdown bullpen, but recently has struggled. Axford gave up a run in the 7th inning, and now runners on 1st and 2nd, 2 outs. And Henderson is going to be pulled, and then comes Gonzalez, 7-5, top of the 8th, 2 outs. The new pitcher is a left-hander. Michael Gonzalez, 0-3, a 3.3 ERA in 30 innings. He struck out 40, walked 16. He is in to face the left-hander, Daniel Murphy. Jim Henderson now can only watch as he hopes his teammate can get out of this inning without any damage being done. Lefty versus lefty. And the fastball misses outside for ball one. Murphy on the night, 3 for 4, a double, 2 singles, an RBI, and a run scored.
Gonzalez against lefties, 258. Really nothing eye-popping.
Breaking ball, taken first strike, 1-1. You got 4 righties there on the bench. Daniel Murphy, though, he's that everyday player, second baseman.
He's got 3 hits, and he's shown a very good approach here tonight. You leave him alone.
Off the end of the bat, popped up, long run. Segura coming over, calls off Betancourt, and that'll drop in. A foul ball as Segura ran hard into that wall in the railing.
And Segura's going so hard. At one point, it even looked like he was going to overrun the baseball. One thing that really surprised me about that pop-up did not come back at all. Usually, from the left-hander, you see that ball come back. Once you saw that divider there, can't blame him. Take your eyes off of it. Because Justin, he only knows one speed.
Look at the little kid. That's great. Good hustle. Good hustle.
Congratulations, All-Star.
That's fantastic.
Then you give him a little lift, like, okay, you're done now. Go.
1-2 the count here to Murphy. Fouled away.
Oof, Tim Tuffle, watch out.
And that was headed right to that same young boy. I think he may have gotten the ball.
Is he going that good, really?
He said good effort to Segura, but he said my effort's better. I got the ball.
Gonzalez way ahead of the lefty. He's got some things to work him with, especially after a late swing on a fastball. You know what he's looking for.
Runners take off, and it's a double steal here by the Mets on a 1-2 pitch, so it's 2 balls and 2 strikes. Quintanilla to third base, the trail runner Young to second.
You saw the way the play was designed defensively is for the middle guys to stay exactly where they're at. Don't give up any holes.
That's big, because all of a sudden now a single, and you've got great speed at second base and Young. That could tie the game. The 2-2 from Gonzalez in the dirt. 3-2.
We've been saying it with the starters and with Hawkins. The difference between the timing when you pick up that leg and it makes contact with that glove when you deliver the baseball is the biggest difference in letting a guy run it out. And Ron Renick's done it tonight, but Terry Collins does it in a very risky time because he trusted the information he had.
The payoff pitch. Fouled back.
All you got to do is look at Michael Gonzalez and the time he takes, leaning over, taking his time, worried about only delivering that pitch.
Now, if Murphy gets on, you've got K-Rod warming up in the bullpen, and you've got David Wright in the on-deck circle. 3-2, popped up, left field, Schaefer. There, and that'll do it. The Mets will strand runners on at second and third. We go to the bottom of the 8th, 7-5 Milwaukee. The first half of this 2013 baseball season has been Matt Harvey, the ace for the New York Mets, the flamethrower who has been just dominant. 7-2, a 2.27 ERA, 141 strikeouts. And many believe, as he was named to the All-Star team today, that he will be the starting pitcher Tuesday, July 16th at Citi Field.
It's only fitting. He has earned it. He has a lot of confidence. He's got some swagger. He's got the city following him and many people around baseball. Timing is everything. And he's done it with some tremendous numbers and some serious results.
New pitcher in the game is Greg Burke, the right-hander here for the Mets, facing Norichika Aoki. A side armor misses outside. 1 ball and 1 strike. 0-1, a 4.37 ERA and 22 2/3, 7 walks and 20 strikeouts. Trying to keep this a 2-run game going to the 9th inning, and in the 9th the Mets have 3, 4, 5. Wright, Davis and Burr due up, expecting to see their former teammate K-Rod. Outside, 2 balls and 1 strike. Matt Harvey, the pitchers joining him on the staff. Yeah, they're all right. Clayton Kershaw, Patrick Corbin, Wainwright, Zimmerman.
Yeah, there's some good arms there.
Yeah. The bullpen, Grilly, Kimbrel, Chapman. How about Jeff Locke with Pittsburgh?
How about that? The time it took him to get established in the big leagues. Now an all-star.
2-1 into the seats. 2 balls and 2 strikes.
So Matt Harvey, talk about arriving with a bang. I mean, last year makes his debut. 11 strikeouts immediately. And exactly what people were expecting, they're getting.
I mentioned before, Yasiel Puig has become must-watch TV. Matt Harvey is must-watch TV. When he starts, you have to tune in. I mean, any day he starts, there's a chance that he could throw a no-hitter. That's the type of stuff he has. There are a few guys in baseball you think, he's got it. Justin Verlander. Just how they control multiple pitches.
I totally agree. And also, it's not about the velocity only. This guy commands. And he's watching Zach Wheeler go through the adjustments, also with a very healthy arm. I mean, no comparisons here, but the command and the maturity on the mound are huge for a guy like Matt Harvey. You know what? He's a confident young man.
Let me ask this. You talk about the confidence, the maturity. Wheeler came out of high school. Harvey went to college 3 years in North Carolina. How much of a difference does that make, if any?
It's a big difference. When you've been coached, you've competed at a high level. The expectations in college to stay in that rotation were big and high. And it could have been the other way around. The guy that went to high school could have been more advanced. It's also a knack and the aptitude you have for your craft.
Aoki inside outs to left field. A diving play by Eric Young Jr. Making the straight-on diving catch, one of the hardest for an outfielder.
That was a tough play coming off a left-hander's bat. That ball slicing. So he ended up catching it, not exactly right on the basket, but near the heel of the glove. Outstanding play, staying with it. Young Jr., just like Papa. Intense.
1 away now for Gene Segura. 1 for 3. RBI single, sac fly. Trying to bunt for a base hit. Bunts it foul.
And again, Justin, going to the point of Harvey, it's when you find somebody like that, they can go triple digits, nasty breaking ball, a feel for pitching, and making adjustments on the fly this early. Forget about the radar gun. He knows how to pitch.
Okay, so you're starting a team. Matt Harvey, Clayton Kershaw. Who do you take?
I'll take them both. I need a
no.
I need a lefty and a righty. Hey, where's the matchup coming here?
So diplomatic.
Let's see. At this, I'm starting the team right now.
Yes.
Guess what? I'm going to save money by having Matt Harvey on my team because Clayton Kershaw is about to get paid.
No balls, 2 strikes here to Segura.
And Harvey was actually drafted by the Angels. and did not sign.
Off the end of the bat, shallow center, going back is Quintanilla, makes the catch, 2 away. Today's telecast is sponsored by Universal Pictures' new film R.I.P.D. in theaters July 19th, and by Chevrolet, find new roads. 2 away here in the 8th for the other first-time All-Star, Carlos Gomez.
Gogo only knows one speed. Very happy for him.
You know, Met fans are watching this game, and they saw he was named to the All-Star team. They said, that's what we were waiting for. That's what we thought we had.
Here's Gogo. Marlon Byrd robbing him last night. That's just outstanding. Reminders of a Torrey Hunter play here at the All-Star game against Barry Bonds.
That was one of the better moments in All-Star game history.
Absolutely. And right next to that sign.
Yeah.
Had a player making a catch.
One, two is outside. 2 balls and 1 strike.
Well, there's the speed that Gogo goes at. This last night. Just watch him. Down the line. You know he's going to get to second base. Now he's watching to throw home. Oh, he's not stopping. There he goes.
2-1, swings the slider, 2 balls and 2 strikes. What people don't realize about him, he's 6'3", 220. He's a big guy.
Yes, he is. All the Yasiel Puig talk you hear about and the mistakes he's making on the base pass, maybe playing the outfield at times, they're in the same mold. Out of the same mold, these two.
2-2, chopper to third. Wright's got to get rid of it quickly. High throw. The tag by Ike Davis. That's the speed. Forces the error by David Wright.
Oh, yes, absolutely. And who better than David Wright to know what he has to do with that baseball when a fast runner is getting out of that box? Looking at the video going, oh, wait a minute, what happened here? Throw gets there on time, he's going to be out, but this is all because of Gomez hustling all the way.
Second error of the game for the Mets. Again, they still do not have a 1-2-3 inning, and now Yuniesky Betancourt at the plate. And I wouldn't be surprised to see Gomez try to steal another base.
Between Gomez and Segura, what a combination in stealing bases and in getting base hits. I mean, it's been tremendous. The pressure those two put on anybody on that mound.
Do you realize those two guys have 17 triples between them?
Not surprised.
Well hit left center field. Young at the wall, gets ran into by Nieuwenhuis and still is able to hang on to the ball. A scary play out there by the wall. Eric Young Jr. is able to make the catch. Both guys going hard. Just hope everyone is all right. Of the game brought to you by Burger King, where taste is king. Yovani Gallardo on the mounds. Had it going for a while. At the plate, had it going all game long. A double, a single, a couple of runs scored. Laid down a good sacrifice bunt that led to another run scoring. And right now he's the pitcher of record, Francisco Rodriguez. K-Rod in to try to close this one out. 101, a .92 ERA, 7 for 7 in save opportunities. Will face David Wright, Ike Davis, and Marlon Byrd. And the first pitch fastball, big swing by Wright, 0-1.
Frankie Rodriguez was telling me today it's all about movement now with that fastball. When he first came up, obviously we all remember the famous K-Rod 95, 96, a disappearing slider. And now throwing two kinds of changeups to help the arsenal.
There was an off-speed pitch. 1 ball and 1 strike.
And I witnessed a terrific season, the best ever for a closer. 62 saves, and that was unbelievable when he did it with the Angels.
Fouled back. 1 ball and 2 strikes.
You know what happened, Justin, was for years he was toying around with a changeup.
You see what K-Rod has done over the course of his career, but that's amazing. 301. If he doubled that, he still wouldn't be tied with Mariano Rivera.
And to Mariano, add the postseason saves.
Rivera's got 29 saves already this year. Inside. 2 balls and 2 strikes to right.
You know, the changeup was really what made Frankie go to the next level, the next elite level. Because as he was losing velocity on his fastball and people were sitting on the breaking ball, he found a way, after toying around for 3 years of spring training, to finally incorporate it into the regular season.
2-2, fouled away. You know, you think about it, these Brewer fans, they had a closer, had one of the best changeups in the history, Trevor Hoffman.
Yes. And now they're seeing Frankie and Francisco. The next question is, how long will he be a Brewer this season? Being followed by many other teams and scouts.
2-2 breaking ball, gets right looking. That was a nasty pitch.
Just buckle your knees and sit down.
Tonight's Fox Sports 1 game summary presented by Fox Sports 1, America's new sports network, which is coming this August. The Brewers, they led 5-0 after 4 innings. Then all of a sudden the Mets got back into it. They trailed by 1. Gallardo 6 innings, 4 earned. You see 2 for 2 at the plate. And John Buck, he's had himself a good night. But now Ike Davis, who has walked 3 times and flown out to left field once. He's 0 for 1. And the first pitch breaking ball is in there for a strike.
You know, Justin, for Gallardo, even though the numbers may not indicate, it is a step in the right direction. But if you don't have Gallardo in your lineup today, you're not leading this ball game.
You're right.
With the bats and with the arm.
There's a changeup. 0-2 to Davis.
For Ike Davis, if somebody can throw off your timing right now, is Francisco Rodriguez. Think about it, Frankie did not have a job in spring training. Saw him pitch in the World Baseball Classic and had to head back to Venezuela after that. No job, no offers.
And he gets him chasing in the dirt. Back-to-back strikeouts by K-Rod.
This is a disappearing act here. Look at that changeup. Down. Almost acts like a split finger. Arm action. Arm speed. Everything looks like a fastball till the end. And I'll tell you what, it was kind of sad. I was at the airport in San Juan, Puerto Rico after finishing WBC. And I see Frankie Rodriguez, and I'm thinking, in his mind, he sees all these guys going to their clubs and camps. How sad to see this guy heading back to no job.
You said before, perseverance. Now facing Marlon Byrd. Ball. You heard it. I don't have to say it. Bola. 1 ball, no strikes to Byrd. Sacrifice fly his last time up. These fans looking for a split here of the first 2 games of this series. Byrd gets into one to right center field. Gomez back at the wall. Gone. Marlon Byrd with his 13th home run of the year, and it's a 7-6 ball game.
Anybody with that type of swing, you have to be extremely careful with after 4 times up. Only because Marlon Byrd is one of those guys that can adjust on the fly very quickly. And he knows if he lays off the breaking ball and stay inside that baseball, this is what could have happened. Perfect timing with a leg kick and the lift.
K-Rod's reaction. You can read lips.
Probably thinking that was a pretty good fastball, I thought. Down in the zone.
New and ice. First pitch swinging, pulls it foul.
The location. He's thinking pop-up, not in this ballpark. Oh no, hitters love getting some lift here in this ballpark.
No balls and 2 strikes. The producer of tonight's game is Carol Langley. The director is Jonathan Evans. The associate director, Yvonne Wagner. Broadcast associate, Paul Marmero. Our technical producer is Craig Marlowe. Technical director, Josh Miller. Pre-game show produced by Ethan Kleinberg. Directed by Mike Martin. Statistician, Scott Lightman. Andy Bonjean. No balls, 2 strikes. The count here to New and Ice. The 0-2. Got him chasing. 7-6. The Brewers will take game 2 of this 3-game set. Coming up next, we'll send it back to the MLB Network studios for post-game coverage. For Jose Mota and our entire crew, I am Justin Kutcher saying so long from Milwaukee. We'll get you back to the studio right after these messages.